Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. I'm really glad everybody could join us. So today we are going to spend the next 90 minutes, about 90 minutes, and then we'll leave it open for Q&A after, to jump in and talk about how to get $250,000 in business credit for your EIN number that's not linked to your personal Social Security number. We're also going to talk about how you can easily get business loans and credit lines, even if you do not think that you're in a position to qualify now. Now, we have a lot of stuff to jump into. Let me first get us kicked off by introducing myself. My name is Ty Crandall. For those of you that don't know me, I've spent most of my professional career ever since leaving the Air Force in the finance industry. I've spent about 17 years total in the finance industry, and I speak about this topic worldwide. I'm kind of all over the place. Just in the last few weeks, I've been in Los Angeles, I've been in Texas, and I'm headed to Denver this week. So I speak about this topic everywhere, mapping out the process to be able to build business credit. I also have two of the best-selling books on credit that are out there today: Perfect Credit, which is everything about the consumer credit system and a little bit about business credit, and Business Credit Decoded, which is the best-selling book on Amazon that maps out much of what we'll be talking about here over the next 90 minutes. You can also, if you ever Google my name, you'll probably see I've been everywhere. I'm on podcast, I'm on radio, TV. I've been featured in Forbes, Inc., Entrepreneur. On this topic of commercial credit, business credit, I really am honored to have earned the recognition of being one of the foremost authorities. So you'll oftentimes, if you haven't already, seen me somewhere talking about the topic that we're going to be diving into today. And I'm also blessed to have the opportunity to oversee the largest business credit partner and coaching division in the country. Today, we've helped about 15,000 people plus build business credit and financing just over the last 4 years. And we have thousands of partners that offer business credit and financing as a service where we support all of their customers. So I don't tell you any of this to brag or boast at all. For anybody that knows me, I'm an extremely humble person. I just want to tell you this so you know that I have the knowledge and experience that I have to talk in depth about the topic that we're going to be jumping into today. Now, on a personal side, when I'm not working, I love having fun. I love hanging out with my family, and I enjoy all kinds of really cool, crazy activities down here in Florida. I'm an avid pilot, so whenever I have free time, I'm usually in the air, flying around here all over the state, with meeting my goal of hitting every public airport in the state of Florida. And here's just kind of a look at a little bit of my life, just so you can get to know me and the things that I'm doing. We spend a ton of time at Disney because it's about an hour and a half, and we have a couple little kids, and we're doing all different kind of fun things, trying to maximize everything that this beautiful state of Florida provides. So enough about me. Let's talk a little bit more about the topic at hand. So what we're going to be covering today is, well, a lot of different things. We're going to start off by talking about how you can immediately get business credit that's linked to your EIN, not your Social Security number. We're going to talk about how you do this, like I said, immediately. You're going to be able to leave the webinar today and know exactly where to go to get your first accounts to start building your business credit. This is credit that you're going to be able to get even if you're just starting your business, even if you are an established business, even if you have good credit, even if you have bad credit. As a matter of fact, we're going to talk about how to do this without financials, so you don't need to be an established business to get approved. We're going to talk about how you can do this without a personal credit check. So personal credit quality doesn't matter if there's no personal credit check involved. We're going to talk about how to immediately take that credit profile and score you build, and use that to start getting very high limit revolving accounts. You're going to see examples here of $50,000, $75,000 plus individual limit approvals that you're able to get at a lot of major sources like Walmart, Amazon, Staples, Apple, Lowe's, Ford, Best Buy. Almost every major retailer out there offers this kind of commercial credit, and we're going to decode the process to get that. We're even going to talk about how to get auto vehicle financing at places like Ally and Ford and GM, and how to get Visa cards and MasterCards, which is what we call cash credit, all without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. We're also going to talk about loans. We're also going to talk about credit lines. We're going to talk about the ways to get financing even when a bank says no, or you don't even bother applying because you don't think you'll get approved. I find that a lot of people think they can't get approved for business financing when they absolutely can. They just don't know the where to go or how to get it. We're going to decode that today as well. And we're going to talk about how to offer business credit financing as a service, if that's something you're interested in. We'll dive into that at the very end. So if that's something you're interested in making money with business credit financing, we'll talk a little bit about that as well today. And then if you're staying through the 90 minutes, then you're going to hear about how you can get some bonuses, and you're also going to then be able to get a playback of this webinar. My mind tends to work kind of fast, and my mouth tries to keep up with my mind. So sometimes, especially on this topic that I'm very passionate about, I kind of tend to talk a little bit fast. Well, don't worry about that. If you're staying through the 90 minutes, we're going to send you a playback of the actual webinar. So if you're staying to the end, you will get that. Now, that does not mean you need to stay for the Q&A. I will stay after and answer questions that you have, and we'll talk about a few different ways we're going to get those questions answered. But if you're staying through the 90 minutes where we're going through everything, I will make sure you get the playback, and you'll get a chance to hear and see how you can come in and get access to some bonuses as well. So look, first of all, just to make sure everybody can hear me okay, type in where you're from in the question box just to kind of get us kicked off, just to make sure that I know that you guys are there. Okay, cool. Perfect. Atlanta. That's awesome. I was just in Atlanta, Ohio. Okay, I lived in Ohio. I was stationed in Ohio. I was stationed in Texas, DC. I love. Okay, cool. So good to know. In Los Angeles, we got a little bit of everyone here. Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Tennessee, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Virginia Beach. I love Virginia Beach. All right, cool. Rochester, New York. My wife and I were just discussing a trip we're getting ready to take in a few months here to New York. Fort Lauderdale, down in my area. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure the comments, the questions, everything is working. Now, just to let you know, I know you're going to have questions along the way. I find that about 90% of the questions people have during the event, we cover during the webinar anyways. So maybe try to hold some of your questions till the end, because you'll find that we're not going to answer them to the end. And you'll also find that a lot of the content you may ask about, we will cover somewhere through the actual 90 minutes that we're getting ready to dive into. So look, let's start at the beginning. A lot of people fail trying to do what I'm going to teach you today. So if you're coming in and thinking, I don't know if this is going to work for me, I don't know if it's possible, I will tell you that's because a lot of people make these common mistakes. Most people try to go to their bank when they need money. When I stand in front of large groups, I ask this question: where would you go if you need to get money for your business? And a lot of people overwhelmingly respond that they would go to their bank. Well, banks are the worst place you can go to get capital unless you're very well established. And so we're going to talk about a bunch of other sources today. We work with about 1,000 different type of finance sources. We're going to talk about a lot of those that will lend you money even when banks won't be able to lend you money. A lot of people don't even know that business credit exists. They don't know that it can be built regardless of personal credit quality. People don't know that business credit exists for you to help your business fund itself. So it doesn't need your personal money to be able to do so. And I'm going to decode the steps of how to do this today, so you'll not only even know it exists and how it works, but you'll understand the steps to do it as well. And a lot of people don't understand the business credit building process. A lot of people mess this up. A lot of people that do know business credit, which, by the way, Entrepreneur Magazine reports about 90% of entrepreneurs know nothing about business credit. So just the fact that you're here puts you in a really elite, exclusive group of people that have knowledge that most other business owners just don't have. But the ones that do have the basic knowledge don't understand the process. In order for you to be successful with this, you have to follow a very set series of steps. If you follow the steps, you succeed. If you mess anything up along the way, you don't succeed. So we're going to map out this process so you know how to do it successfully. And a lot of entrepreneurs just don't know that money's available based on business strength. They think that they have to have cash flow and credit and collateral and all these things to get loans, whereas the reality is any kind of minor business strength that you may have, or strength you may have even as an individual, can work to get you financing. And we're going to talk later about what these strengths are and how each one of them can actually tie into different kinds of loans and credit lines that you're able to secure for your business. So look, you're in the right place if you're looking to get money to start or grow a business. If you got a concept, an idea, if you're in the beginning stage of the business, if you're growing the business, you're looking looking for the best rates, the best terms, money for expansion, those are exactly the topics we're going to be talking about today. If you're looking for high limit credit accounts that aren't linked to your social, by high limit, I mean 20, 30, 40, $50,000 individual limit credit cards that are linked to your business EIN and not linked to your social, not based on personal credit quality, not based on you supplying a personal guarantee. That is exactly what we are also going to decode today. And if you're looking for the easiest way to get money, the fastest way, the sources that will give you money when banks won't, and they will do it within 2 days, 3 days, less than a week's time, we're going to be diving into a lot of those solutions. And if you're looking for credit line, if you're looking for a loan, elusive credit lines, a lot of people just don't know how to get these. We're going to be decoding a lot of different sources and a lot of different programs that will work for you to be able to get those things today. So look, a lot of questions that I get revolve around this. Will this work for you? Will business credit work for you? Well, business credit is the only financial solution that you can get regardless of cash flow, credit, or collateral. To get some kind of loan, some kind of credit line, you either need to have a business that's producing cash flow, some kind of collateral, or good credit of you or a guarantor. You got to have a lendable strength to be able to get a loan or a credit line. But business credit's the only kind of financing you can get for a business where you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars, even if you have none of this. So it's a solution that I call a catch-all because every business owner, every entrepreneur can get it. Okay, and also this means any business can get it, even startups, even nonprofits. So even when nonprofits struggle to get loans, even when startups struggle to get financing, because a lot of startups don't make it because they can't get the money they need to succeed, you're still able to come in and get business credit. Here's a look at some of actual approvals that our clients are getting now. So here's one of our clients that just got this Visa card that is their 10th account, their 10th vendor. Here's a $4,000 approval for Chevron. Here's a Staples credit card approval, JC Penney approval. Here's a Uline approvals. Here's somebody that got 6,000 in Amazon and 10,000 at Apple. Here's somebody with 12,500 with Apple. Here's another client that got $8,500 worth of B credit in their second round of funding, a $1,000 Office Depot card. So a lot of these people, and I show you this because a lot of these people were exactly where you were before they got this training. They had no idea how to do this, didn't know it was possible, and now they're out getting accounts like this approval here you can see with Exxon. And here's a $17,000 Amazon account. Amazon, you're going to learn today, is one of the easiest approvals to get as you start building your business credit. Okay, another JC Penney account here. Here's a BP approval for $4,000, another $4,000. Thanks, Ty Crandall, for all the advice and help. Well, thank you for following the advice and help. Here's another $4,000 account. Here's a bunch of approvals. Net 30, multiply your marketplace. Uline, Quill, Seton, Walmart, Amex, Blue account for $2,000, Amazon. Okay, so all of this you can see they're getting without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. Some will even tell you if they are providing a personal guarantee. Here's a $50,000 pilot Flying J approval. Okay, here's another one with Quill, and another approval here with Amazon, looks like. Okay, $4,000 approval here. So on and on. And again, a lot of these people, 1,600, Exxon $3,000. Here's an American Express for $9,000. A lot of these people were sitting where you are right now. They were novices. They had no information, no knowledge about business credit. They didn't know what this process was. They went through the training. You can even see on a lot of these them giving shout outs to me because after going through the training, they're able to come in and have this kind of success. $7,200 fleet card, $20,000 no PG American Express card. So you can see these are the kind of approvals that you're going to be able to get when you learn the exact steps that we're going to talk about to get. So here's another $20,000 approval. Happy Dance, $10,000 Dell approval. Here's another one for Racetrack for $6,000. Another approval for $7,200. So this gives you an idea of what average people that are starting businesses that are in the beginning stages that are not making the $10, $20 million that a lot of people think you have to get business credit are actually getting in the same kind of results that you're going to be able to get when we're finished with this training as well. So let's start at the beginning. What is business credit? Well, quite simply, it's credit that's in a business's name. Okay, it's credit that's based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner. So with business credit, the business itself is building its own credit profile, its own credit score that's linked to the business EIN number. And then that credit's in the business's name and is based on the business's ability to pay, not the business owner. So here's how we get away from the personal guarantee. Here's how we get away from the social security number. We're building your credit profile and score that lets the business stand on its own so the business can start qualifying for credit without needing the business owner to be the guarantor or vouch for the business. Then the business starts to qualify for high limit revolving accounts, as you just saw, the Office Depot and Home Depot and Sam's Club and Costco and Dell, BP, Walmart, MasterCards, Visa cards, American Express cards, many of which you just saw. Then the business starts to qualify for this kind of credit. And then that credit helps the business become more lendable. The business builds its own credit profile, its own credit scores, and then that business becomes lendable, giving it easier access to loans and to credit lines. So why is it awesome? Well, a bunch of different reasons. First, as we mentioned, there's no effect on personal credit, no adverse impact on your consumer credit scores. Here's the problem. I see so many business owners make. They try to fund their business using personal credit cards. And I know a lot of you are probably guilty of this. I was before in the past too, before I found a better way. 75% of business owners get money from family and friends, and an even higher percentage use their own credit and funding or own credit to fund their business. Here's the problem. Consumer credit was never designed to fund businesses. The limits are substantially lower than what commercial limits are. So what happens is when you try to use credit to fund a business, you put balances on your credit cards. And since utilization is 30% of your consumer FICO score, keep in mind, 35% of your FICO score is how you pay your bills, payment history, 30% is utilization. So FICO is telling you that higher balances damage your score almost as much as if you pay your bills late. That's the math of FICO. It's very important that you keep low to no balances on your consumer credit cards. But when you try to use them to fund a business, well, then you adversely affect what? That utilization that attributes 30% of your score, and you dramatically lower your scores. Then you have a hard time using your personal credit scores to get loans for your business and personally, to get mortgages and real estate and all the things you really need it for. The other problem is that inquiries are a really big deal. I'm going to talk to you later about how one inquiry can adversely affect your ability to get $25,000 in funding. One inquiry can cost you that much in funding or more. Inquiries are like gold in the commercial world. You want to keep your inquiries as low as possible on your credit report. But if you're using personal credit to fund your business, then you're giving a social security number. And every time you get a business credit card, you're putting an inquiry on your credit report, which affects 10% of your score. So you're adversely affecting utilization, which is 30% of your score, and 10%, which has to do with inquiries. So just by using personal credit to try to fund your business, you're adversely affecting 40% of your personal FICO score, which lowers the score and makes it harder for you to get the financing you need and makes it where you're paying higher rates. With business credit, there's no impact on this. I'm going to teach you how to get credit that you can get without putting an inquiry on your business or personal credit report because you're not giving a social. And it reports to the business credit reporting agency. So even if you max out the credit, it won't adversely affect your consumer credit scores because it's not based on consumer credit quality for approval because they're not pulling your personal credit. And again, it's not reporting on your personal credit report. So that means even if you do have bad credit, you're still able to follow the steps today and succeed. There's no personal guarantee. You're not personally liable for what happens in your business. That's why I'm here with you today. Okay. I never thought my business would ever fail. Most business owners don't. But my first business was a mortgage business at the height of the mortgage industry. And what happened was the whole economy changed. My ability to offer loans immediately went away. The business failed. I personally guaranteed everything for the business. And what happens was all the business debtors came after me personally and cleaned out my personal accounts. So not only was my business failing and was our revenue cut by 90%, but the other problem was that all the money that we had saved and accumulated, all of a sudden, since we guaranteed, all that credit showed on my personal credit report. My credit issuers lowered all my limits to what I owed, which tanked my credit scores. And then my business debtors literally came in my bank account and cleaned out every dime that I had and took it all to pay my business debts. Personal guarantees are a big deal. You don't ever want to guarantee something for your business and give them the ability to come after your personal assets to cover your business debts if you don't want to. And I can tell you from experience that the unexpected is what causes that to happen. So business credit can be built without a personal guarantee, which means you're not personally liable for the debt, which also means that if you do ever default, they can't come after your personal assets. You and your family's assets are safe and secure. Plus, it's very fast to build. I'm going to teach you today how to get credit as soon as we're done with the webinar. And then you can get all the way to the end, Visa cards, MasterCards, Amex cards, auto vehicle financing in only 4 to 6 months. You can start getting Amazon credit cards in 60 days. So it's much faster than you'd ever experience in the consumer world. And in 4 to 6 months, you're already at $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 limits. You could never do this in the consumer credit scoring world. In the consumer world, it takes you 6 months to even get a FICO score established once you start paying your bills. But in the business world, you can get all the way to the end of the process within only 4 to 6 months and start getting credit right away as soon as we're done with the webinar. It's also important because anybody can see your business credit reports. I can't pull your consumer credit without your permission, but I can easily pull your business credit with only your business name and the state that your business is in. If I have that information, I can pull it. As a matter of fact, if you go to get a Dun & Bradstreet credit report, Experian or Equifax business credit report, the first question it asks you is, do you want to report for your business or somebody else's? So anybody can see your credit report, your prospects, your competitors, potential buyers of your business, investors, suppliers, credit issuers, lenders. So you really need to control the perception of what they all see because it's public information, unlike your consumer credit profile that's only accessible to you and people you give permission to pull it. Greater borrowing ability. Once you have both consumer and commercial credit. So this is the only legal way to build two credit profiles. You build one for your business, you build one for you as a consumer. And a lot of people even still question the legitimacy of this. And this is why, SBA and Inc. and NASDAQ, even all of them, if you search, have articles, have topics that are even very recent discussing the importance of this separation of commercial and consumer credit. Consumer credit was never designed to fund businesses. That's what business credit's for. So once you have both, then it gives you double the borrowing ability because you can have a Staples consumer credit card. You also have that Staples commercial or business credit card as well. And the limits are much higher. The limits are about 10 to 100 times higher on business credit accounts than what you're going to find with consumer credit. And that comes directly from SBA. This isn't surprising. You may never need to spend $10,000 at Dell on home computers, but you could easily spend more than $10,000 at Dell to get computers into your office. This is why Dell is notorious for giving $10,000 approval commercial credit cards in about 60 or 90-day time. So the limits are substantially higher. So when I talk to you about $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 plus limits, it sounds almost too good to be true. But as you just saw, people were getting their starter accounts, and we saw $2,000, $4,000, $6,000, $12,000 Amazon accounts. Well, those seem very high because in the consumer world, we're not used to getting those high of limits that quickly. But in the business world, credit issuers know that your business spends a lot more money, which is why the limits are so much higher than what you're going to find or are used to with consumer credit. You can also get approved even when you can't get a bank loan. That's what we talked about. Even as a startup, even when there's no other way you can get business financing, this is still a catch-all solution where you can still secure business credit. And you also helps you access loans and credit lines to fund your business because it makes you more lendable. And we're going to look at real lender credit reports here in a few slides so you can see exactly how this actually looks to lenders and credit issuers. And that also gives you a competitive advantage. Look, the bottom line is in your industry, if you have insider secret information as you're about to that others in your industry don't, then it gives you a competitive advantage because you show me two businesses that sell the same product and one has access to 100 grand and one has access to zero. I'll show you how fast the $100,000 access company has versus the one that doesn't have access. The bottom line is having access to money to grow gives you a major competitive advantage. You can get it as long as you have a business in the United States. Look, if you're listening from Canada, I just was on a podcast yesterday in Australia. It doesn't matter. If you have a business in the United States, which even if you're not in the United States, you can still have, you're still able to come in and get business credit. And you can also build credit for multiple businesses. So this is another question that I get. Look, can I follow the steps you're going to teach me to do this with multiple businesses? Absolutely. Because unlike you, where you only have one social security number, a business entity can have an EIN. So if you have 20 business entities, then you can have 20 EINs. And as long as you have an entity and an EIN, you can build a commercial credit profile following these exact steps. You can even get business credit as a nonprofit, as we talked about, as a startup, as a nonprofit, even in these scenarios where you typically can't get it. and you don't have to buy bogus trade lines or shelf corporations. I get so many questions about this. I'm going to teach you how to do this without spending thousands of dollars with Dun & Bradstreet, without buying bogus trade lines that you don't need, without spending money on shelf corporations to try to fool lenders and credit issuers that you've been in business longer than you have. You don't need this stuff, because the truth is getting approved isn't based on time in business, as we're going to be diving into and decoding today. So business credit quality will determine if you get approved for business loans, how much you're going to get approved for, and it's also going to determine the terms that you're going to pay. Matter of fact, you can be denied financing based on business credit quality, even if you have no business credit established. And we'll take a look and see right now exactly what that looks like. So here's what's interesting. You can be issued a failing business credit score even if you have no credit reporting, because the fact that you have no business credit, the fact that you are unestablished, makes you look like you're on the verge of bankruptcy. And what you're seeing here is a screenshot of a real Experian commercial credit report, that same one that lenders look at, and you see a risk score of 28 versus 100 being the highest. So 28 is a low score, 6 on the financial stability score, very low out of 100. These 100 being the best, 0 being the worst. These indicate extremely high risk. You can even see here, the current financial stability risk score literally depicts your risk of going bankrupt, your risk of ceasing operations. You can see here a credit with a company with 28 score, a financial risk score about as high a risk as you can get. You can see the reason is a lack of trade lines, and you can see the summary data here is all zeros. This is somebody that has no credit. Here's why. If Experian and Dun & Bradstreet know your business exists, they know your business name, they know what address, and they know your SIC code, all of which they can get from your Secretary of State annual reports 1 year in business, they will issue you this exact profile, a failing score. Boom, they populate a report, they give you a failing score, even if you have no credit established. Pretty crazy. We're not used to this in the consumer world. In the consumer world, you have to really mess up. You have got to screw up and do things bad, like not pay your bills to get bad credit. But in the business world, you're instantly given bad credit just because you don't have any. Just because you don't have any, it automatically makes you a high risk. Okay, but here's what's interesting. Even one account takes you immediately from failing to successful, which I'm going to show you how to do today. So you can see here, here's the opposite end of the spectrum. Here's somebody with a 96 score, almost as high as you can go. 100 is the highest. Here you can see that they're very, very, very low risk. And here you can see they did it with one account, a packaging account. I'm going to teach you later what a packaging account this is and how to get it. So somebody got one account, and that one account took them from failing to a very successful, almost as good of a score as you can get. Why? How? It's simple. Business credit scores are based on how you pay. So just because they got one account and paid it on time, that took them all the way to a 96 score, because the only history they have reflects perfect payment. So this is exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today, is to go from having no credit or a failing credit score to go to this kind of credit where you can have excellent. And you can even see here that this person had the same experience. They were a 28, just like I showed you. They got the one account. Now they're all the way up into the 90s. So you can even see their trends of doing that. But here's what's even more interesting. As you continue to grow, as you continue to build business credit, the more and more trade lines you get, the more accounts you get reporting, the higher the recommendation of approvals you get. So this looks familiar. We already looked at this, a 28 score, but their credit limit recommendation is only 1,000. Then we looked at this. Somebody got one account and they jumped up to $2,500. But here's what's interesting. Experian, Equifax, and D&B all have the same thing. They all have a credit limit recommendation. They all tell lenders and credit issuers how much money you should be lent. So the more credit you build, the higher this amount of recommendation of credit increases. So let's take a look. Here's somebody with a 27 score. They're not paying their bills, but they're still being recommended for almost $7,000 worth of credit, and they have 2 accounts reporting. Here's somebody that's being recommended for almost $16,000 worth of credit. They have 3 accounts reporting. Here's somebody that has almost $66,000 recommendation for credit, and they have 4 accounts reporting. 1, 2, 3, and 1 here on the second page of the report. Here's somebody with $724,000 in recommended credit with 15 accounts reporting. You just learned the most valuable very first lesson about business credit building. Get rid of all the naysayers. It's not based on time in business. It's not based on revenue, as many people will try to lead you to believe. What business credit is really based on, what these computers that these credit issuers have are really looking at, is the number of trade lines you have. And what's cool about that is that you can control that. By getting more credit, you add more trades. By adding more trades, your recommendation of credit gets higher. And as long as you're paying those bills as agreed, that's what gets you the best rate and term. So you can go from no credit or failing credit to good credit very quickly, and then start racking up the recommendation of credit, getting higher and higher limits very quickly, as long as you can get the accounts on the credit report, which we're going to talk about today. So this is why every successful business in America has business credit. So here's a look at Facebook. They have 40 trade lines. What's a trade line? A trade line is the reporting of an account to the business credit reporting agency. So this is an account reporting to Experian. Facebook has 40 different accounts reporting to Experian. Dell has 83. Microsoft with 131, Apple with 138, Pilot Flying J with 153, Publix, My Backyard in Lakeland, Florida with 171, Walmart with 513 trades. Here's what's interesting about Walmart. 80% of what Walmart sells, they buy using business credit. So when you go to Walmart and you buy Bounty paper towels, they use their business credit to buy those paper towels from Bounty. They then put them on their shelf. You come in and take them off the shelf and buy it. You give Walmart money. Walmart takes your money and they use it to pay off the credit they used to borrow the money to get the paper towels. Okay, that's why they're the #1 retailer in the world. They've mastered OPM, other people's money. Business credit is the biggest cash injection into Walmart, even more than shareholder value. Okay, that's how big of a deal it is. And that's why they have 513 trades. They have 513 trades because they've mastered using credit to buy what they put in their stores and then using your money to pay off the credit. It's also why they have the best inventory management system in the world, because they're using it credit to be able to actually buy the inventory and stock the shelves. But here's what's interesting. Here's Mars Incorporated. They make Mars bars. They have 22 trade lines. Here's a company that's only a couple months into building business credit, Clean Slate Credit Solutions. This is a buddy of mine. He has 8 trade lines. Here's another client you'll hear from later, Success Tax Relief. They have 14 trade lines. This is in a few months of building business credit. Here's what's interesting. Mars Incorporated only had like 20 something trade lines. They have 70% as many trade lines as Mars Incorporated. That makes Mars bars. They have 14 trades when Facebook has 40. They have 33%, more than 33%, as many trade lines as Facebook does, and they're only months into this process. So yes, every one of the most successful publicly and privately owned companies in this country has business credit. As a matter of fact, a lot of them got as big as they are because they use business credit to do it. But here's examples of people that are only months into the process that understand the same steps, that are having the same kind of success, even surpassing what some of the biggest players out there are doing. And how do we do it? Well, here's the samples that we just saw. We just saw them, and we just actually looked at a case where they had 14 trades a few months into the process of building business credit. Here's a quote from them. We went to our bank to get a business line of credit, and they turned us down. We got started with Credit Suite, set up our business credibly, and built our business credit. After following the steps, we've now secured over 96,000 in business credit cards and just applied for the Platinum American Express card and got approved instantly with no limit. Now we have 4 to 5 different companies calling us every day, trying to give us money, and that's a really good problem to have. We're excited, and if you don't have business credit yet, you should get involved with Credit Suite to have the same results we have. What's interesting about the samples is this. They started a business, and they took all the money they had and they sunk it into a marketing campaign. They got scammed. It happens. We've all been ripped off before. They got ripped off. They were left with basically no money and a tax business to build. They sold a flat screen TV and a pickup truck, an old beat up pickup truck. They scrounged together $1,200. They started the business. They quickly knew they were going to run out of money, so they started building business credit. What happened with them is we instantly went through a credibility check, found out a problem on why they were getting denied the loan, And we turned around and they turned around and actually got the loan in the credit line they were actually trying to get. But then they started building business credit. They came in, they got an American Express card, they took off. They did well over $1 million in the first year in business. And they were surpassing, last time I checked, 1.5, 1.6 million the second year in business. So this is a true success story of somebody that came in, was struggling to get the business off the ground, got the capital they needed. And we'll even talk later about some of the things they bought using some of the companies I'm going to introduce you to then be successful. So how do we do this? Well, it starts like they mentioned, with building business credibility. Look, lenders and credit issuers have a secret unpublished set of approval standards that you just have to meet to get approved. You know this and I know this. How do we know? Because we've applied for credit cards before and one of two things has happened. And if you're like me, you've probably had both outcomes. You either get approved and they instantly tell you you're approved and they tell you your limit, or they give you that dreaded message that you'll hear in 7 to 10 days by mail, and that message you get in the mail never ends up being good. So how does this happen so quick? Because computers are making underwriting decisions. So the very first step of building business credit and getting any kind of loan is to understand what these computer algorithms are looking for. And then we can meet the criteria before we even apply. That way, it's a series of checks that goes off in that computer. We meet the criteria, and it's the first step to actually getting approved. If you meet the criteria, you get automated approvals. If you don't meet the criteria, you automatically get denied. So you've got to set up your business credibly before you even think about getting credit financing. If you don't do this, you will not be successful. Now, again, I know a lot of people are typing in questions. Keep in mind, I will get to your questions as soon as we're done, but also keep in mind, most of the questions you're going to ask, we're probably going to cover here over the next hour anyways. So you may want to hold them to the end, but don't think I'm ignoring you. I will make sure that we get to questions as we get to a wrap up. Okay, so set up your business entity, preferably a corporation or LLC. Look, any entity could build business credit, even a sole proprietor. But here's the problem. If you're a partnership or sole proprietor, you are the business. You and the business are one and the same. So it's impossible to separate your liability if you are the business. That's the same with business credit as it is with lawsuits. I'm not an attorney, and I'm not trying to give you legal advice, but I will tell you that if you're a sole proprietor or partnership and the entity gets sued, you can get sued too because you are the business. If you're an LLC or a corporation, you separate that liability, which helps give you some layer of protection from lawsuits. But in my world, it means a lot because it also is how you truly come in and separate and create and get rid of the personal guarantee. So you've got to choose the right entity, preferably a corporation or an LLC. You've got to stay away from names that indicate your high-risk industries or high-risk SICs. SIC code is an industry identifier code of what industry you're actually in. So we're going to talk about how you can stay away from these high-risk business name and SICs because that alone can get you denied for credit and financing. Later, I'm going to show you a list of these high-risk industries so you'll know the names and industries to avoid, or know the names and industries that you're going to have a longer uphill battle to be able to succeed. Get your free EIN number for the IRS. Look, there's a lot of places online that try to play themselves off to be the IRS and charge you for an EIN. It's 100% completely free. If you go to irs.gov, that's where you'll get the free EIN number. A lot of people think business credit's built under a DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. That's not true. It's built under your EIN number. It's why even with an EIN, you can build business credit, or you can even, if you have an EIN, you can build business credit, but even if you don't have a DUNS, you can still build business credit. So you need to have an EIN because just like your personal credit profile is built under your social, your business credit profile is built under that EIN number. You need to get the licensing you need to operate legally. Look, if your county, if your state, if you need licensing to operate, then you need to have that proper licensing. Even if your industry requires it, nobody wants to lend money or issue credit to an unlicensed company. Make sure that all your online listings have the same information as what's on the application. This is one of the #1 reasons that people get denied. Remember, I told you that we helped the samples fix one thing and that got them approved. what happened was the address they were putting on the application didn't match the Secretary of State records. The minute we helped them correct that one thing, they instantly were able to go into that bank and get the same financing that they'd been denied for before. You've got to make sure that your bank statements, you got to make sure that your utility statements, that your website, that your Yelp profile, that everything has the same information as what's on the application. The address needs to be the same. The phone number needs to be the same. The business name needs to be the same. Look, what's very interesting about the business world that's different than the consumer world is the reporting agencies get data from Yelp. They get it from Bing. They get it from Yahoo. They get it from your Facebook page. They will get information from anywhere that their crawlers can get it. So if Yelp has a different spelling of your name than Google does, and that's different than your Facebook page, then not having that continuity is one of the reasons you get denied. As a matter of fact, this is the number one reason that we found that bank applications get denied, because the information you're giving to the bank is not exactly the same as what they're researching and they're finding online. You've got to have a professional email address and a professional website. Look, nowadays you can go to places like Template Monster and buy a website template for 60 or $100. You can go to Wex or any of these sources and be able to build a website. You can go to GoDaddy and get a domain for your website for $7, and the website comes with an email address that's a professional email address. Okay, don't use Yahoo, don't use Gmail. These things make you look unestablished. Get a website. Our website's creditsuite.com. My email is info@creditsuite.com. The email is consistent with the domain. That's what they're really looking for. They just don't want to see these Yahoo or Gmail type of personal extensions of an email address. You need to have a physical business address if you can. If you can't, use a virtual address as your second option. A virtual address is where you rent the mailbox or rent the address to get mail at, but you don't have to physically pay rent and have a location. It's much cheaper than renting an actual location. The third option and last resort option is to use a home address, but some sources like Walmart will not approve you if you use a home address. And places like Dun & Bradstreet are now putting Google Street Views on your actual business credit report. So we have clients that have recently called us freaking out because when they pull their business credit report, they see a big picture of their house right on the front page. If you don't want that, use a business address, use a virtual address. What you never want to do is use a UPS address or use a PO box address. Yeah, I know. A lot of people have tried to convince you along the way that a UPS address looks like a real street address, but it's not. Here's what happens. UPS and PO box addresses are put into a database that lenders and credit issuers' computers automatically check your address against. And if you're on that list, it's one of the biggest and most common reasons you'll get denied. Virtual addresses back in the 80s fought the battle to be treated separately, and they won. So they're not in that database. So never use a PO box or UPS address. You're better to use a business address first choice, virtual address second choice, and I'll talk to you about some sources that do that later. And the third is to use your home address as last resort. Get a business phone number. Get it listed with 411. Why? Pretty interesting. This is an industry hack right here. You can't go to 411 and list your business. You can't do it. Matter of fact, 411 is not 411.com. It's actually two separate companies. Lenders and credit issuers know you can't fake being listed with 411. 411 picks up your business organically on Yelp and Google. Once your business is established and you start to get listed everywhere, 411 picks you up. You can't fake it. So this is why lenders and credit issuers look at it, because they know that unseasoned businesses don't have it. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit later about how you could get listed with 411 for free and get it done right away instead of actually going through the process to wait, so you don't have to wait months or even a year plus to organically be picked up. You've got to be listed with 411. Some of the vendors we're going to talk about here in the next few slides require only an EIN and a 411 for approval. So if you don't have the 411, you can't even get off the ground. You need to have a business phone number, not a cell phone or mobile phone ever. You want to get a fax number, get a toll-free number. You never want to leave an application field blank. So if it asks for a fax, you want to provide a fax. Nowadays, you can go to Ring Central, places like this, get a toll-free number. It also is your fax number and it's your business number. It's everything in one. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to show you later how to get a $7,500 credit line that reports on your business credit reports for a phone service that only costs you $24 a month. So you can get your phone service while building business credit. So after you've built the business credibly, the next thing you do is you got to get it set up with the business credit reporting agencies. And you do this first just to check with Dun& Bradstreet, Equifax, Experian to see if they even know you exist. So you got to go them direct to see if you even exist. Why? Because you just saw. You saw earlier that you could be issued a failing business credit profile and score even if you have no credit. Is that you or is that not you? You've got to go to the reporting agencies to figure that out. And later, I'll show you how you can figure this out easily in one click without having to pay a dime to do it. You also need to get your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet. Look, a lot of sources won't require a DUNS for approval. Others will. I personally have seen circumstances where Staples denied the application and then the business owner supplied the DUNS number to them even though they never asked, and then the application immediately went from denial to approval. You've got to get your DUNS number. Everything I've taught you so far, you might be able to slide by. Without some of this, you may get some approvals, but you won't get a lot of others. So the key is that you want to get all these things because that's where you're getting all these sources to approve you versus denial here, denial here, denial here, denial here, approval here, denial, 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 approval. So by meeting all this criteria, then some sources don't require DUNS. Others do. By getting it, you make sure that you can qualify for the majority of credit. And without it, you're not going to start to get to the really high limit credit that you want to get. And you also need to have the DUNS number to get a PAYDEX score. Because what happens with Dun & Bradstreet is there's two requirements. One, they need a DUNS number. Two, they need a few accounts reporting to them to give you a actual PAYDEX score, which is the most common score used in the business credit industry. So what happens is, yes, you can come in and be issued a failing score with no credit with Experian or Equifax, but DMB requires a few sources to actually report to them, as well as your DUNS number to get approved. Now, Dun & Bradstreet, if you get your DUNS number, they will call you. They will try to sell you a credit builder package. They will tell you that you need to activate your credit profile, and they're going to tell you that the credit builder is about $1,500 to $2,000. I'm going to show you later how to get around that $2,000, still get your DUNS number, and still get your credit profile activated as well. And you're also going to need to fix any inaccuracies that are on your business credit reports. And we're going to dive in later. I'm going to show you how you can easily fix inaccuracies with the reporting agencies as well. Now, we've got established with the reporting agencies, we've set up the business credibly. The next thing you want to do is start getting initial credit. Now, just like with consumer credit, you initially start getting credit that builds up credit profile and score. In the consumer world, these are called secured credit cards. In the business credit world, these are primarily vendor accounts, but I'm going to show you 3 different ways you can actually get your initial credit. The first way is what I just told you. Pay Dun & Bradstreet $1,500 to $2,000 for their credit builder program. Here's the problem. There's 2 of them. One, you're only ever going to build credit using this with Dun & Bradstreet, and that's a problem, right? Think about it. If you only ever built your consumer credit with TransUnion and not Equifax and Experian, you wouldn't get very far, right? You couldn't get mortgages, you couldn't get cars, you couldn't get very many credit cards either. You need to build credit with all of the reporting agencies to be successful in the consumer and the commercial world. And in Dun & Bradstreet, you spend $2,000, all you ever do is even build your credit with DMB. You still have to follow the other 2 methods I'm going to teach you, one of the 2 to get built with Experian and Equifax. And another problem with Dun & Bradstreet, most trade lines you think about adding, you can't. You can't add rent. You can't add mortgage payments. You can't add credit card payments or payments to banks. And you can't even add any kind of utility payment. So if you eliminate all those things, which is what you and I mostly pay as business owners, there's not even a lot of accounts you can add when you pay them the $2,000. And even if you did, you'd still need to follow another step because you've got to build credit with all the reporting agencies. Now, if you have good personal credit, I'm going to give you 2 options now. The options 2 and 3, one requires good credit, one doesn't. So if you don't have good credit, no worries. That's going to be option 3. Option 2 is if you do have good credit or a guarantor, somebody that will sign for you that does, you can get up to $150,000 in no doc, no tax returns, no financials needed at all. So even a startup can get it, okay, in financing at 0%. So it's 0% for 6 to 18 months. You're getting Visa, MasterCards. You could liquidate. You could take the physical cash out of, even as a startup, and get up to $150,000. And these accounts report to the business credit reporting agencies. Now, this comes in the form of about 5 business credit cards and lines where you could take the cash out. You could physically take the cash out, and these report to the business credit reporting agencies. So you're building business credit. You got to provide a personal guarantee with this option, not with the next option I'm going to show you. But if you have good personal credit or guarantor that does, It's a great way to go because you get 5 high limit accounts on your business credit reports to start, and you're getting access to physical cash credit. So, I mean, you can't lose, even especially as a startup business. Okay. But, and here's an example. Here's one for 12,000, 13,000. So here's a client of ours that got 61,000 in this kind of business to start the business and get it off the ground. Okay. We have a lot of clients that get $50,000, $150,000 to fund their business, even when they can't get other kind of financing using that option. Now, you can get initial business credit, the third option, with starter vendors. This is kind of like secured credit, but it's not secured. It's $500 to $1,500 limit accounts typically that you have to pay off in the equivalent of maybe 30 or 50 days. So these are called net terms: net 30, net 45, net 55. What net 30 means is it means you have 30 days to pay the balance off in its entirety, okay, instead of revolving credit where you can pay a little bit off as you go. So you've got to find vendors that do report, and then you've also got to find vendors that will give you credit even when you have absolutely no credit reporting now. And you're going to need about 5 of these vendors to move to the next step. Okay, so about 97% of trade vendors don't report to the business credit reporting agencies. That's the problem. We talk to a lot of people that think they have business credit. We pull their credit, they don't have any. So the disconnect is they have credit with vendors that are not reporting. But when those vendors are, when you find vendors that do report and will give you credit that when you don't have any, then that's how you start building your business credit. And here's a few of those right away. Here's Uline, Quill, and Wells Fargo. Now, earlier I showed you a business credit report. I told you it was a shipping account, and I tell you who that was. That was Uline. That's actually a Uline account. So Quill and Uline will give you credit even when you have none, and they report it to the business credit reporting agency. They won't even ask you for your social security number on the applications. Now, Wells Fargo does have a secured credit card. It requires about a 620 FICO, and they will pull your personal credit. But a lot of people ask for secured card options, so I wanted to give you that as well. And later, I'm going to show you even more starter vendors other than these, but these are the type of ones, probably some of the most popular ones that you're going to use to initially get approved. And here's some people that are just getting started with their initial account. So here's a Fuel Man fleet card. And this person says, we now have Uline, Granger, Quill, and Pilot. So these are all their starter accounts. Here's somebody that just got their first supplies. My first net 30 products arrived today, okay, from Uline. Here's somebody that just got an approval with HD Supply for a net 30 account. Here's somebody that just came in, got Amazon, Lowe's, and Quarles Fleet Fuel, all said, I'm not going to say that word. I'm going to say heck no. But the reason I'm showing you this is because I don't want you to think it's all easy. Here's somebody, Lamont. Lamont's very successful, and here's where he just failed with 3. But here's somebody else that came in and got that $5,000 approval with HD Supply. So these are people that are getting approved for these kind of vendor accounts. Now, once you've got those 5 accounts reporting, well, then you've got to get to the point where you get revolving credit. Now you get the Amazon, now you get the Dell, now you get the Staples, the Home Depot. Now you get the revolving accounts with limits 10 to 100 times higher than what we see with consumer credit. Now, I call these store credit. I call this step store credit. Okay, but a lot of people might refer to it as retail credit because these are basically retailers, right? But these are credit cards with most major stores that you're familiar with. And here's somebody with the Dell and JCPenney, and here's an approval here for $6,000 with Racetrack, and here's one we haven't seen with a gas card, $4,500. No PG means no personal guarantee. Here's a Lowe's account we haven't seen for $4,000, and here's another account here where $8,400 with Citgo, Love's for $5,000, a $10,000 DigiKey, a Home Depot for $1,000, an Amazon for $7,000, and you can see right there, all no PG. The person showing all of the different credit cards that they've just obtained, all without personal guarantees and without personal credit checks. A Shell for $17,000. Okay, as you see, I showed you a bunch of other ones earlier. I'll go through, and I've shown you over 100 examples of real success during this webinar because I think it's important. So here's one we haven't seen as well. Third set of fleet cards. Here's another account here for Sam's Club. The approval's $15,000. I don't know if you can see that right here is the credit limit. Credit limit $15,000 with Sam's. Sam's Club offers a MasterCard you can use anywhere, and they also offer a store credit card as well. So here's one of our clients, Christine. Now, we had Christine on a couple months ago for an actual webinar, and she actually gave us updates of where she is so far with her approvals. She's now surpassed $850,000 in business credit. She went from owning a 1-truck business. She's a trucker with $5,000 a month in revenue to a 50-truck organization using business credit. And here's some of her approvals: Sprint, $2,000, Amazon 4,500, Tractor Supply, Exxon both for $5,000, Fuelman Fleet for $6,000, BJ's for $7,000. BJ's, that's a cash credit card. Visa, MasterCard she can use anywhere, not just at BJ's. BP $8,000, Lowe's $10,000, Apple 12,500, Shell 15,000. Murphy USA has to do with their trucking industry or business, 15,000. Office Depot and Sears for 15,000 a piece. Costco 20, Best Buy 40, Dell 40, Pilot Flying J 50. Now I say 50, but her actual approval is for 50,000 a week. So she can spend up to 50,000 a week with Pilot Flying J. A local roofing company that works with her industry, 75,000. She got approved for 40,000 initially with Ford. She went back and has been approved for 185,000 with Ford, and RTS account for $300,000 credit line. Every single account that I've listed here, she did not provide a personal guarantee, and she did not provide a personal credit check. Now, I have a ton of other approvals that I didn't even add. I ran out of room. And for example, she also got a PNC account for 50,000, and she also got a PNC account for 100,000. She chose to guarantee those. In order to get higher limits like she wanted, she had to provide the PG. She didn't have good credit when she applied. She still, because her business credit was established, got 150,000 in PNC. I didn't even add those because I wanted you to see the credit that she got without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check, not even to mention some of the other credit that she actually chose to get where she provided a personal guarantee. And you can see here's $150,000 RTS approval. And what's funny is she came back with a later post and said, oh, my bad, I called them and they doubled it. It was 300,000. Here's some actual approvals on her credit reports. You can start to see the credit reporting, 9,000, 5,000. These images aren't great, but these are the building of her business credit reports. Here's that approval for a $15,000 account, and here's her holding a bunch of her approvals. For those guys who say business credit without a PG is not possible, these are just a quote-unquote few of my cards. This does not include what I'm applying for, waiting on to be shipped, nor what I have for my other business as well. So it can be done, but yes, you'll have to eventually do a PG with somewhere down the line, which is true, and we'll talk about that later with some kind of loans. But a good majority, if you follow Ty Crandall's program, you'll get what you need. And here's her holding just some of her many 8 credit that accounts for over $800,000 in actual approval. So once you have at least 10 to 14 accounts reporting, then you get to Visa cards, MasterCards, American Express cards that we call cash credit. So these are credit cards that you can get without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. The Amex for $9,000. There's another Amex for $3,000 and Amex for $20,000. I guess Amex is my popular card for this slide. Chase Inc. is really stepping up. PNC Bank is really stepping up. A lot of these are available. All of these, as you can see, without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. So here's some other approvals as well. 12,000 from PNC. Here's Flagstar for 10,000. Here's a $22,000 Chase approval, a $15,000 Citi approval, a $10,000 Chase approval, a $8,000 Inc. card, $7,000 Umpak Bank. Never know if I pronounce that right. One day I'll find out. $50,000 American Express, $10,000 Bank of America, $24,000 Amex, $50,000 Amex. So this is more of the kind of credit you can get using the system that I've just outlined for you to build business credit without the personal guarantee, without the personal credit check. Here's one of our clients, Marlon. I was looking for a fast way to get money to grow my consumer credit business. After failing to get approved for loans with several banks, I discovered Credit Suite. After getting initial vendor credit accounts, I continued applying, getting all types of credit, and now have over 100 business credit cards in my wallets, totaling over $1 million in total available credit. I have fleet credit I use for auto repairs and fuel, and have cash credit cards with most major banks, including Bank of America and Wells Fargo. I secured almost all this credit without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check, and I've been able to get loans with many sources, including PayPal and Cabbage, with low rates and loan amounts over 100,000. Look, guys, I'll talk to you about a lot of cases, and not to say any of these are typical, okay? What you get depends on what you apply for. The reason that Marlon, the reason that people like Thelma and the samples and people like Christine are getting these high amounts of credit is that they're using it to actually grow a real business. So if you're building business credit, it's not about building business credit. It's about getting credit you really need to build the business. And by getting credit you're actually going to need and you're actually using, it's the getting the credit and the using of the credit that future credit issuers see and continue to give you more credit with higher limits, right? We know this. You built your consumer credit that way. You started with low limits, you made them high. It happens a lot faster in the business world, but you got to be getting the credit, using the credit. So what's typical is different for Marlon than it is for you. It depends on how much you apply for. Marlon applies for a bunch of credit and gets it. Christine does too. So how much you can really get, 250,000 is just the name of the webinar. It's not a cap. You can get well more than that or less than that, depending on how much you actually choose to apply for. And here's Marlon holding up stacks, literally stacks of his business credit cards. So the problems you'll face, look, I want to be realistic here. I'm not saying this is easy. I've given you the map of how this works, but here's the other side of it. Here's all the people that try to do it on their own and have failures along the way. Here's somebody that has an LLC, okay? They're trying to decide about setting up the right entity. Building business credit is on your own is not easy, okay? The process is about trial and error, which takes time, and you spend a lot of time running into barriers and not knowing what to do. Here's somebody that doesn't know how to get listed with 411 or has address questions, or here's somebody that's trying to figure out the right entity, or what's the easiest cash credit to get without a personal guarantee, or what happens when you get denied. Any suggestions on what fleet cards to get? How can I get a loan for 100 grand? Flex fuel card, do they do a hard pull or not? Home Depot informed me that they need a personal guarantee. How do I get around it? In AEW Direct, same company. Are these the same company? Are they different companies? I just started a travel company. How do I get references? If you get denied, how does it affect your score? How do you get this account? Does having an LLC before trying to get business credit, do you do it before or after? Okay, here's question after question after question after question after question. Guys, if you look at this, these are all questions within a 5-day period. They're all within a 5-day period. This shows you the types of questions and the amount of questions that people ask. So don't think it's just an easy process just because I mapped it out. It is going to be, if you're doing this on your own, you're going to have all these kind of questions and not sure of how to ask. And the problem with every one of these is being asked in a group, in a forum, where the people answering the questions are novices themselves. They don't know. So 85% of what I see in these forums is incorrect information because it's novices teaching novices, which is why this process usually takes years to be able to accomplish. So how do you condense that? Well, if we have time and if you're okay with it, I'd like to show you how the samples, how Thelma, how Christine, how Marlon, the exact system they went through to take this process from years to months. But I want to be, conscious of your time. We might go over 90 minutes here. I think we'll hit it right on the nose. So if you're okay with that, type in the word yes into comments. If you're okay with me showing you, not in theory how this works, but the exact process that all of them, Marlon and the samples and Christine and all the case studies you saw, the exact process they followed to come through and succeed. Okay, perfect. I just want to be conscious of your time because I know how valuable it is. All right, so let me show you the exact system they followed to get this success. And whether or not this is a system you decide to use or not, doesn't matter. You're still going to learn here because you'll see exactly how it works in real time, in the real way that we take years and condense it down to months, and the same system that they use to succeed. Even if you do this on your own, it'll still help you, or it'll kind of give you that path to the faster success. So this is what we call the business finance suite. And this basically does a couple different things. One, it maps out all different kind of business financing. And two, which I'll show you a bunch of financing you can get here in a minute. And two, it also comes in and breaks down the exact steps for you to build business credit. So we're going to go in here. We're going to go to Business Credit Builder. We're going to start to build business credit. And we start to see these steps broke down in a little bit more elaborate detail than what I've shown you, but it also breaks down the overview of the steps here. So when we look, here's that step one we talked about, building your business credibility. So building your business credibility is the first step, as we talked about. Do you have a business name? Remember, I told you don't want to use a high-risk industry name. Well, the finance suite you can see here, it's really intuitive. If you have a business name, you click yes and enter yes, the business name, and you move on. You fly through the steps. If you don't, you click no, and we bring you right to the Secretary of State where you don't need to pay anybody to set up the business. You can do it very quickly and cheaply on your own. You can even view those restricted industries. Now, I've no problem showing you this list or even you taking screenshots because this changes daily and we update it. Here's industries that are restricted that can't get loans and credit in a lot of cases. And here are ones that are just high risk where it's more difficult to get approved. Agricultural, dry cleaners, computers. Why? I don't know. But these are a list of high risk industries. So when you're setting up your business, you can cross check it against this restricted industry list to make sure you're not in that. You don't have those SICs or you're not choosing business names that can actually get you denied. Remember, setting up that business name is important. So is your business address. I told you earlier I was going to show you a few virtual address solutions. Well, if you come in here and say you need resources, well, you see Regis, you see Alliance. Okay, so you see those options right here. They will help you get the actual virtual addresses, and you can come in and get that done right through the finance suite. Now, if you like and you speak English, or if you have customers that speak English, you come down here, choose English to Spanish, and you'll see here that everything changes to Spanish. You can even come in here and go to closed caption on the videos, choose Spanish, and then all your videos are Spanish. So if Spanish is your native language, or if you have customers that speak Spanish, it's really easy to do any of this in English or in Spanish, which makes it even more accessible. So the other thing is you set up your business entity here and your 411. Remember I told you that you can't just go and fake 411? Well, here, if you don't have your phone number listed with 411, you simply select that yes, you want it to be. You select the phone number you want it listed and we do it for you. We use a service called List Yourself. You could use them too. We spend it's $360 a year. It's $30 a month to be able to keep your business listed with 411. For our clients, we pay for this because we tell them it's important. They weren't doing it. So we said, we'll just pay for it. It's one of the biggest bills our company has is we cover the List Yourself bill for all of our clients. But you can go to List Yourself. It's $360 and get your phone number with 411, the website, the email setup, getting the EIN, the licensing, even setting up your business bank account. Did you know you have 3 types of credit? Consumer credit, business credit, which you now know about, and bank credit. Banks have their own internal credit scoring system that ranks you, and having the right credit score is necessary to ever get SBA loans. We teach you that. We teach you what you need to do and know about bank references and what you need to know about your bank credit scores. All those type of things we do with these short training videos. Every step just has short training videos because it's all about speed, 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 speed. How do we get you fast results? How do we get you fast results? If you have a business bank account, you click no, or you click yes and you move on. That's fast. If you click no in a short video that's, 42 seconds, you learn everything you need to know to get this done the right way so you don't fail. So it's all about breaking it down into sub-steps that are easy for you to accomplish by giving short training videos, by giving you resources when you need them and when you don't, helping you fly through these steps pretty quick. Now, as we talked about, once you set up that business credibly, then the next thing you're going to do is you got to get established with the business credit reporting agencies, Equifax, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian. So what we're going to do is if you don't have your DUNS number, you click no. And in one click, you set up your DUNS number right here. So you set up your DUNS number with Dun & Bradstreet in one click to actually get set up, and we can come in here and do a quick search with Dun & Bradstreet, get set up, and you don't ever have to pay a dime of money to do so. As a matter of fact, in this video, we even show you the exact process that you just saw. You just saw the same screen. So we just show you the exact process where you don't have to pay them a dime. So you don't have to spend that $1,500 to $2,000 to get established with them and to get your credit profile activated. I'll show you in step 3 how to activate your credit profile without paying them. And you can also do that free search. Here's that free search with Experian, with Equifax, with Dun & Bradstreet that you can do to see if your business is established. So you can see here, I come in, I do that free search. I'm in Florida, and I'm going to my own company, other company. Remember, anybody can pull your credit. And then that free search, it tells me if I have trade lines or not. I need to know if I should pull my business credit reports. Well, you can see here's prices. It's $50 to get a report with Experian. By the way, I'm about to show you how to get Experian and Dun & Bradstreet for only $24 versus the $210 that they'll charge you. But right up here is what I'm looking for. Here's the company, and here it's telling us that we have trade lines. So we're helping you do that free search with Experian, Equifax, and Dun & Bradstreet to even see if you're established with them and to get your DUNS number without paying for it. Now, the next step is we help you start building business credit. And these are using vendor accounts. And you can see a lot of the vendors that we have. Now, we have more vendors than you're going to find anywhere else because we help put people in the business of being vendors, meaning we go to companies that have an interest in reporting to the business credit reporting agencies. We help them report to Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. So we create the vendors to then give access to our clients so they have access to a big selection, so it's easy for them to get those 5 initial accounts they need. And we also teach you how to do it with only 3 accounts without needing the 5 accounts as well. Now, every source, and here's where the money really is, every source we list who they report to, the description of products and services they sell, and the exact approval criteria to get approved, and the back link to actually get in and get the no personal guarantee account. So guys, this is not information they publish online. You've never seen loans and credit cards where they're telling you their underwriting guidelines up front. We have relationships with all of these underwriters, with every one of these sources, with all this information is up to date, and it's a big deal. For example, you saw approvals from several people with Seton. Well, the reason people got approvals with Seton is Seton used to be one of the biggest vendors that's out there. People are still right now out getting approved with Seton, thinking they're going to build business credit, and then they find out months later that Seton stopped reporting. Seton no longer reports. That's a big deal. Our whole system is about speed, speed, speed. How do we get you fast results? Well, it's all about information. By teaching you the right vendors to apply for and which ones will approve you and giving you the underwriting guidelines before you apply, now you can meet the criteria before you even apply. So instead of you going like so many people do, and you saw Lamont, I got denied at these 4 places because I didn't know where to apply. Well, then you're coming in and getting approval after approval after approval, and it's done 4 ways. 1, we list the underwriting guidelines before you apply. 2, we come in and tell you in color the ones you can qualify for, and we gray out the ones you can't. 3, we give you a step-by-step tier system to tell you round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4 of credit to get. And 4, every round of accounts, we tell you how many you're going to need, so you know the amount of credit that you're going to need to even get those accounts. This 4-step system helps us only expose you to credit you're actually going to need and use to build business credit. And like I mentioned, there's sources in here that you can even come in and get website design. You can get phone services with $7,500 credit lines. You can get financing for your customers, office supplies, shipping supplies, computers, all those things, so you can buy the stuff you really need for your business while building your business credit. Now, the next thing we do is we help you get credit monitoring with Dun & Bradstreet, Equifax, and Experian. Now, Dun & Bradstreet and Experian combined will charge you $210 a month to get credit monitoring. Okay, you can come through and you can see that they're usually either $149 or $159 a month. They kind of go back and forth with their price. So it's $210 a month. You can see right here on their page. Okay, and I already showed you Experian was $50. We also teach you how to read those business credit reports as well. Okay, so again, it's not enough just to get your business credit reports. You have to know how to read them. Why? Well, because your business credit reports, for example, don't have credit earned names on them. If you get a credit report, a credit card with Staples, it won't show Staples on your credit card or credit report. It'll show you office supplies, their categories. They have multiple scores. You need to know what those scores mean. You need to know how all the aspects of these reports break down and what every one of these aspects means. For example, they don't show credit limits. They show the recent amount of credit you're using. So we provide video training to teach you how these work, and we even give you the ability in one click to fix inaccuracies with any 3 of the credit reporting agencies as well. No, it's not correct. I want to fix it with DMB, Equifax, Experian, you easily can. But here's one of the coolest things. We actually integrate right here, and when you go to report dashboard, you can actually pull your business credit reports with Dun & Bradstreet and with Experian through our nav integration. This is the cheapest you're able to get business credit reports anywhere. It's $24 a month, and this isn't something we roll out to all clients. I'll tell you that up front, and I'll talk to you later about how to get it. But it's $24 a month to get Dun & Bradstreet and Experian both combined. And you can see here, here's your score, factors affecting your score, business information, summary data, lawsuits that are here. You can come in and look at all the accounts that are actually on your business credit reports, 55 accounts. By the way, this is Pixar. This is actually a real credit report for Pixar. Why are we looking at it? Because it's public information, and we can look at Pixar or anybody else's credit reports that we want to, the same as anybody can look at yours. Public record filing, you can set up alerts, and you can do it with Experian and DMB. 11's a score. Guys, that is not good. That is high risk. Okay, business information, here factors influencing your score, payments beyond terms, public records, liens, judgments. All of the information you need to build business credit is right here with Experian and DMB. And instead of spending $210 a month, it's 24 bucks. That alone saves you $2,200, $2,200 a month. 2,200 bucks a year, because if you go to DMB and Experian Direct, it is going to be $210 a month, and it's only 24 bucks using it. So it's easy to monitor and build your business credit. Then once you get those 5 accounts, let's have some fun. We're off to the races. Now we're back to this point where we can start getting all kinds of revolving credit. Every one of these sources lists the actual underwriting guidelines, but here is what's very important. Remember, how many accounts do you have? You need 6 accounts, right, to get to the next step. So it's easy to be able to know how many accounts you need. And you're not doing this by yourself, by the way. Our business advisors help you through every step of this process. They call you 5 times the first 5 days. They're available through chat, email, and phone, but they're not customer service. They don't wait for you to call them. We're calling you preemptively. We call you 5 times in the first 5 days. I'm going to teach you later how you can get 30 minutes for free just to ask them any questions you want. You can spend as much time on the phone with them as you need to spend. They'll call you consistently and regularly because they're coaching you through the program. Again, speed, speed, speed. How do we get you to condense years to months? All these things combine to why we're able to get people to the end of this process in 4 to 6 months, while most are spending 2 to 3 years. So Wawa, 7-Eleven, Ryder, I mean, almost anything. Now, here's that gray. Remember, I told you that accounts you can't qualify for, you are grayed out. Well, this system is reflecting that I don't have enough accounts yet to get these sources. And I did this intentionally so I can show you what it looks like when you do and don't qualify. These are fleet cards. These are Kanoko and Global. I mean, we add so many sources that it's unbelievable. We often add 20 sources or more in a 60-day time period. And again, all you do is click learn more. We list the underwriting guidelines, where they report to. Again, why is this valuable? If you need 6 accounts to move to the next step, this doesn't count as 1, it counts as 2. But you'd only know that if you know the ones that report to multiple reporting agencies. By teaching you that they report to multiple, we're helping you expedite the time to build business credit, because you know the accounts to report to multiple, where 1 approval counts as 2 accounts. And again, the underwriting criteria, the backlink to come in and get approved, it's applied with every source. And as you continue down the path, you continue to get more and more credit. So now we're looking at even more sources who will approve you, okay? Royal Farms, if Office Depot, Shell, Tractor Supply, Amazon. Here's a Walmart account, Sears and BP. Without personal guarantees, without personal credit check, we're giving you the ability to come in and get more and more and more approvals. You're even able to get auto vehicle financing without the personal guarantee, Visa cards, MasterCards, all these type of things you're able to get in this step. You can start to see MasterCards and Visa cards. You can start to see other cards, fuel cards. We're able to get plenty of other accounts that don't even report. So there's a lot of credit that doesn't report that you're probably still going to want. Why? PNC Bank, Amex. They might not report, but they'll give you credit without the personal guarantee, without the credit check. AT&T, auto vehicle financing, loans through places like PayPal, cell phone service without a personal guarantee credit check. Apple, Fundbox offers credit lines with no credit check whatsoever. Best Buy, we saw $40,000 approvals with them, and on and on and on. So this gives you more access to vendors and revolving sources than anywhere else. And we also talked about being able to get financing as well. So you're able to come in and get business financing as well. You can get financing to buy equipment, borrow against equipment you already have. Here's that $150,000 unsecured program that we talked about that you can get even as a startup and a guarantor. The requirements to get approved. You have your own finance team, your own processors, your own finance officers. Why? Because I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous that if you want a loan, you go online and type in business loan and you're in a wasteland, not having any idea whether those lenders will approve you or not. So our finance officers work with over 1,000 lenders, every legitimate funding program, term loans, lines of credit that don't even have credit pulls, sources that will give you 30% of your revenue advanced you in a loan when normal lenders are only 10%. And their whole job is to go to work and to be able to get you the most financing. And because we do so much financing with these sources, they give us discounts that then gets passed on to you. So you never need to look for money again. Whenever you need money, you talk to your finance officers, they develop a finance blueprint, and we help you qualify for all the financing you can qualify for. AR, account receivable financing, purchase order financing, 401k securities, private equity. We're getting ready to add angel investing in here. Crowdfunding is going to be added. Revenue financing based only on your revenue. So if you have revenue, you can get financing regardless of credit quality and with no collateral. If you have collateral like equipment, 401ks, securities, stocks, bonds, auto vehicles, real estate, account receivables, purchase orders, you can get money regardless of personal credit and regardless of cash flow. If you have good credit or good credit guarantor, you can get money regardless of revenue, regardless of collateral. So this helps you get the most money at the best terms. And if you are interested in offering business credit as a service, you can add clients, you can manage them on your client dashboard, add sales reps, and monitor funding commissions. You get paid 50% on all the funding that we get for your clients. That can be two, three, four. We've cut $10,000 plus checks just on funding commissions. And you also have a step-by-step partner training as well that maps out the exact steps to be successful offering business credit, where it's short videos that walk you through everything you need to know to be able to offer business credit service. If you want to, you don't have to get our partner program, but it's available. You can even get certified by answering quizzes along the way and access more resources than you'll ever know what to do with. Ebooks, flyers, videos, I mean, almost everything you can imagine, and it's all professionally done and it's all professionally white label. So if you sell the finance suite, this is white label in your name. All the resources are white label in your name. So that way you can see they're all professionally done. They're all professionally set up to come in and be certified at any times. And we went ahead and even filled one in so you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like. So you can come in and access all these resources, videos, everything you need to successfully. It's like running a franchise without an expensive franchise fee. So here's the story of one of our clients, Dr. Brandon. Really cool story. He came to us and he was looking for $417,000 in funding. His credit was bad, and he already went to his bank, got denied. He was getting ready to close his business because it was an IRS tax lien. We ended up getting him at this point over $1.5 million. And we did it because we combined multiple kinds of financing. If you go to a normal lender like On Deck, great lender, we work with them, but all they offer you is revenue lending. By working with all types of financing, we can combine multiple types of financing to get you more money at the best terms. And we were able to take somebody like this that didn't have a chance of survival, get him the money, paid off the lien, opened up a second office, ran for office, or a second office to his practice, and even ran for physical office, which was pretty cool. So look, you're watching this webinar because you're on your computer, phone, or tablet because you want the fastest and easiest way to get money and credit to grow. You probably have already struggled to get the money and credit you need on your own, and you probably already know that you like to have the simplest solution to be able to succeed. Well, what we have, our finance suite that you just saw, I think might be a perfect fit because you get business credit that's built for your EIN, not linked to your social. It's a top rated system that's out there. Over 15,000 people we've helped build business credit so far. And by the way, we've never had one client complain online ever. Can you imagine that? Helping 15,000 people and not having one online complaint. It goes to show how successful this can help you be. And you get access to funding to start and grow your business. You can do it in English or in Spanish. You're getting the cutting edge technology to help you meet lending criteria before you apply. Set up your business name correctly to avoid high risk industries. Set up your EIN, set up your address credibly. Get your phone number listed with 411 without spending the $360 to do it. Set up your website, your email address, licensing, and online listings for compliance. We help you with merchant accounts set up, bank accounts set up as well. We help you get set up with all 3 reporting agencies. This This means we help you get activated to save you that $1,500 and $2,000 that Dun & Bradstreet's going to charge you for that in the DUNS number, because we help you get the DUNS number and activate your credit profile, not with just D&B, but with all three reporting agencies. We also help you fix inaccuracies with all three of the reporting agencies as well. You're getting the largest supply of starter vendors, excluding exclusive sources you're not going to find anywhere else, like the one that will give you a $7,500 credit line for $24 a month phone service and put that on your credit report. The selection of store sources that we continue to add more and more to, Visa cards, MasterCards, the stuff nobody can figure out how to get, you're able to get that as well with auto vehicle financing, all without a personal guarantee and without a personal credit check. Plus, we also help you with all aspects of financing, cash flow financing with no consumer credit requirements, collateral financing with rates lower than 2%, startup business financing with credit lines up to 150 grand, private money, alternative SBA, venture capital, term loans, lines of credit, a lot available with no credit check as well. Okay. And you're not doing this on your own. You're being assisted step by step with concierge service from our business advisors to help you build business credit, and our finance team, including our finance officers, to help you with financing. With our partner program, you're getting everything you need to run your own business credit financing business, the support, the contracts, the scripts, and the website. Okay. And I'll show you that during the Q&A. If time permits, I'll even show you the website, press releases, PowerPoints, ebooks, emails, social media posts, videos, webinars. You're getting articles and finance training and finance videos, and you can set up and manage your customers, the sales reps, and Jumpstart program. We have something called our executive program that gives you training for your sales team, and you can set up your sales team, manage your sales team, all these type of things. So look, if you're getting started today as part of this webinar, then what we're going to do is I'm going to do something we don't typically do outside of a webinar, which is give you a discount and also offer you some special bonuses that just come because you're cool enough to hang out with me for the 90 minutes if this is something that makes sense for you. Okay. And on top of that, if you're looking at our website, our top plan at creditsuite.com with payments is over $7,000, $7,100. Okay, this discount's only valid for this webinar. So if you come back months later, weeks later, our team will tell you the same thing. Look, that was during the actual webinar period. And there's a couple different options to get started. Option one, just get business credit loans. You don't want to be a partner. You have no interest in offering it. You just want to get business credit loans for your actual business. And you can do that two ways, 7 payments of $497 or 1 payment of $24.97. Are those not affordable? Do not stop just because that's not affordable. Work with us. We will work with you for custom payments to work payments out that will work for you. The most important thing to keep in mind is that if this makes sense, if you say, look, I like everything you said, I want to work with the business credit team, I want to work with the advising team, I like the software, I want it to be fast, I want to go with the solution, don't let money be the barrier. Communicate with us on what you can do, and we will work with you with custom payments to make this work for you. You're getting a discount with this if you're doing 1 payment, or maybe you want to be a partner. And if they're a partner, you're joining our VIP program for only $100 more, 7 payments of $597 or 1 payment of $34.97. You get a huge discount if you do 1 payment. And again, don't let price be a barrier. If you're interested, then we will work with you on pricing, or not on pricing, we'll work with you on payments. Now, the other thing to keep in mind as well is that this is with a discount. We don't typically discount because we're the only ones that have anything like this. It's the only partner program that exists for business credit financing, and the only solution like this software-wise with coaching that you'll find either. So you're getting a discount, and we're also going to give you some bonuses, which I'll talk about as well. Now, look, it's going to typically take you at least a year and a half, 2 years to do this on your own. Okay, so again, save yourself the time. We're condensing this to months. How much extra money can your business make in that 18 months? And you're going to be paying more anyways. So we save you money. You're going to have to pay for 411. You're going to go get your DUNS. You're going to get business valuations, which I didn't even talk to you about business valuations. As part of our system, you can get ongoing business valuations to see how much your business is worth. And here is exactly what that looks like. You can come in and you can enter the information and get an idea, and I stayed logged in too long, of exactly how much your business is worth at any given time. So you're getting valuations, which would cost thousands of bucks. You're getting your DUNS, which would cost thousands of bucks. Your 411. I'm going to show you here in a minute how to get credit monitoring with a $2,200 a year discount. So again, you're saving money because you don't have to pay for these things. We're wrapping these things into the program. So we'll customize a payment plan for you that will work for what you are actually, what is work that will work for your budget. Okay, we work with services like Fundbox Pay. So they actually will finance this for you and even offer you even more affordable payments as well. So there's another option. Don't forget, we can get you loans. We can get you financing as well to be able to pay for your enrollment. So don't let money be the barrier. If this makes sense and it's something you want to do, we will help with all these different options to make it affordable, and it's risk-free. Look, if we give you full access to everything with your first payment. So when you make even the first payment, we absorb the risk because we give you access to our advisors, our software, everything, because we're that sure you're going to love the actual program. So you can go to creditsuite.com/webinar to actually see our enrollment plans. And I will show you how simple this process is as well, because I find a lot of people in the Q&A ask about this. So you can come. Where am I? Here we go. Here it is. So the core program is if you're just building business credit, getting financing. The VIP is if you're offering it as a partner. You can see here the discounts already applied. The payments are here. You're good to go. And again, you can definitely get in touch with us, which I'll talk to you about in a minute so we can answer other questions that you may have. You just simply complete buy it now. You enter the information on the order form and you're done. And then you can immediately get access. You'll get login information to immediately get access. It's nighttime here, so you would then be able to get contacted by your advisors first thing in the morning. But wait, there's a bunch more because we've talked about some bonuses as well. So we're going to give you 30 minutes with our advisor team. What questions do you have? Do you want to set up your business name and not do it wrong? Is your business address off? Did you try to do this and fail? You're going to get 30 minutes with our coaching team where we're going to help you through any questions that you have. And again, anytime you need help, we'll spend 30, 60 minutes with you on those calls. Okay, bonus two, we're going to give you that credit monitoring. Everybody doesn't get this, but we're going to get you access to that where it's only $24 a month with Experian and Dun & Bradstreet through our NAV integration. That saves you $2,200 a year. Think about that. You're going to go to Dun & Bradstreet and Experian and spend $2,500 for what you get with us for less than $300. We're saving you $2,200 on that alone. And as part of this webinar, you can get started with us for $2,500. So do you want to do it on your own and spend an extra $2,200 on monitoring and Dun & Bradstreet and 411 listing and do it by yourself and have all those questions or have those questions answered and be able to actually save money? Free business valuation. Not only can you see what your business is worth ongoing at any given time, but when you finish that process, you can get a 28-page report on how much your business is worth compared to others in your industry and things you could do to raise the value. It's worth about $1,000. We're throwing that in as well. And a free ready-to-publish book. I showed you my book. That's what you get. You get my book. But it's completely done in a way where you can publish it as your own. Why? Because if you're going to be in business, if you're a published author, it's one of the easiest ways to gain credibility. I showed you Marlon, who got over $1 million in credit. He goes all around the country now talking about business credit financing using my book that he republished as his own book as his main credibility point. So you become a published author overnight. And we're giving you an unconditional guarantee. If you get started but don't feel what you receive is worth every penny of what you paid, or with our partner program that you'll be able to make many times what you spent, we give you your money back 100% within 30 days. Guys, there's a reason we don't have complaints, and here's why it is. Two reasons. One, we do exactly what we say we will do. Everything I've told you today is exactly what you can expect. And two, if you're not happy, we give you your money back. You go your separate way. We do ours too. This is a process. And if you're not committed to the process, we do not want you to be a client. We only work with clients that are serious about succeeding. That way we can spend our time with people that are actually really dedicated to getting business credit, to getting money to grow a successful business. If you want your money back, we give you the money back. That's why we don't have complaints, because we do exactly what we say we'll do. We deliver exactly as we say we'll deliver. And the second thing is because we give you your money back if it's not something that's for you. So to recap, you're getting your own finance suite with 24/7 access, concierge business advising and business credit building support, free DUNS number, and credit activation with all three reporting agencies, which saves you $1,500 to $2,000. Free Experience Smart Business access to show you those brief snapshots of how many trades you have, which I didn't get a chance to show you. The largest supply of starter vendors, massive selection of revolving credit, the $150,000 in unsecured financing, finance officer support, the free 411 listing, which saves you $360, the hard to find cash credit sources. You can dispute and fix inaccuracies with all three credit reporting agencies, fleet credit with no PG, auto vehicle financing, credit monitoring, which saves you the $2,200 a year, cash flow collateral based financing. With our partner program, you're getting everything, every resource you need to be successful. Literally, it is the equivalent of having your own franchise without paying the franchise fee. And those 4 bonuses: 30 minutes with our team, credit monitoring for $24, which saves you the $2,200, the free business valuation, which saves you $1,000, the ready to publish book instead of taking the endless hours to publish your own book. And of course, if what you want, if what you get is not worth every penny, then we give you 100% of your money back within 30 days. creditsuitewebinar.com/webinar is where you can go to get started. So I am going to do a question and answer. Now, here's where we go. I probably won't have time to answer every question you have. I've sat here literally for an hour and a half and answered questions that I've realized that it drains everybody, and everybody that doesn't have those questions doesn't want to do it. So I'm going to sit, hang out, and probably answer 30 or so minutes worth of questions. If you have them, go ahead and get them typed in now. If I don't answer them here, you could get them answered 3 different ways. 1, I may verbally answer the question. I might say what the question is and answer it here. 2, you may get a typed response to the question in the actual question answer box. Or 3, our team will contact you directly and make sure that your question is answered, or you can contact us directly. Either way, I want to make sure all your questions are answered, but I want to be respectful of everybody's time and not be here for an hour and a half answering questions that maybe 5, 6, 7 people have. So try to limit the questions you have. Sometimes we see one person ask 10, 12 different questions. If you have 10, 12 questions, no problem. I want to make sure they're answered. Give us a call right now. Email us right now. I literally have our team still working here at 6:30 in Florida, just so they can be available to answer questions you have. Our number is 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487. Our email is info@creditsuite.com. Don't forget, the getting started link is at creditsuite.com/webinar. So if you have a bunch of questions, just give us a call. Just send us an email. Let us help you that way. If you have a question here or there, well, then type them in. Let me see if I can get to them all. And again, I might verbally read them off and answer them, and we might type them in and answer them. So there might be a couple different ways that you will actually get these answered. So let me go up to the beginning, and then I will go down, and we will see what questions everybody has, and I will make sure that I do my best to get those questions answered. Okay, let me see here. Okay, I don't have a lot of finances to purchase. What can be done for someone like me? Well, give us a call. Like I said, we will work out customized payment programs for you. We even have some off-sheet options, some options we didn't discuss today, and we don't even put on our website, which may help you as well. Can your business credit boost your personal credit once established? No, the two are completely separate. It's a great question. Never been asked that before, ever. Business credit will not help boost personal credit. I have 6 accounts reporting on DMB, but none reporting on Experian and Equifax. That's a common problem. So you're going to have to find the credit and where it reports. And that's what's nice about our system. It tells you where every source reports. So that way you can easily build credit with all 3. Because if you don't, it's very, very, very problematic. What is PAYDEX? We talked about that. It's the main credit score offered by Dun & Bradstreet. I need credit card for the business without a PG. I have 22 trade lines for the business. Well, then, Michael, yeah, you and I talk on our live stream as well, and I've already given you a bunch of sources that can actually be used to get you approved for that. PNC, Chase Inc., and as you just saw, Amex is approving a lot of people right now as well. So any of those will work. I've determined somehow I have 3 DMB numbers for my one business. Are you able to help me with that? Yeah, absolutely. It's not uncommon. And just so you know, Michael, the reason that's happening is because DMB assigns a DUNS number to every business with a separate address in its database. They're picking up multiple addresses for you. That's what's causing that problems. Do you charge a success-based fee? We don't charge money on any funding at all. Lenders will, right? Lenders will actually charge points or whatever they do. We negotiate that to help you and your customer, but we never charge a dime of money on funding, not up front or after the deal closes. The lenders pay us a referral fee. That's how we end up getting paid. I need to get approved for about $7,500 to be able to pay lease payments on and start a business. My credit has been greatly impacted. Well, business credit can definitely help you with that. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's a very small amount of money that you're able to get fairly quickly with business credit. I just had to redo everything in my business, lost all my money, and I'm slowly making an income. Sorry to hear that. How low can you go for a month. Again, that's not something I'm going to discuss here because depending on how low you need it, it might mean we're talking about a program we don't even offer here. Just give us a call, send us an email. We will work with you, but I don't want to get into all the options because every different situation, every scenario is different. So we got to talk to you, find out what your needs are, and then try to fit you with the best program first. Then we can work backwards to make sure payments are affordable. Yes, we will work with you on that. What was the vendor to apply for credit today to get immediate report? Uline, Quill, either one of those will work, and so will Granger. Any one of those three will work. And we talked about Wells Fargo, but those three have no credit check. How long does it take for auto vehicle financing? It takes about 4 to 6 months. That's the final tier that you'll get, and it's through Ford and GM and Ally Financial. So Ally Financial will go through multiple people, even other than Ford and GM, to answer your question. What was the 24-month thing report? That's through our NAV integration. It's business credit reports from Experian and Dun and Bradstreet, as you can see here. All of your business credit report data with Experian and Equifax, or Experian and Dun and Bradstreet, you're getting for $24 with your scores, without needing to go with them direct. And that's all through our NAV integration. And that's as part of this webinar special too. I have a startup that's 4 trade lines reporting. Do you suggest 5 trade lines? You'll need 5 before you get revolving credit, but you just saw the problem. The problem is that even with 5, some sources will require 10 trades, some will require 6, some will require 8. So if you're doing this on your own, this is where it becomes trial and error. You have the minimum needed to get revolving store credit. Which stores will approve you? That's something you either have to do trial and error, or if you're using the finance suite, that's why we map out the tiers and the sources to apply in order, just to help you save that date. What's the effect of a DBA? Really, it's for a few different purposes. Some people use DBAs because they're sole proprietors. And as a sole proprietor, they don't want their business name to be their name. And that happens sometimes in states like California where it's expensive to get incorporated. And then it's also possibly used just because you want to have different brands under one corporate umbrella. Those are the most common reasons. I should have what is required as well. No, we work, as you can see, what's nice about the finance suite is that we work with even startups, because we can come in here and help you right from the beginning, build your business credit. And since in step 1, we're helping you actually set up your business credibility, then what that means is, it means even as a startup, we can help you build your business the right way right from the beginning here in step 1, and that way you can succeed. So you don't need anything to get started. We'll even help you with all aspects of setting up that business, just so it saves you time. How do I get my 6 reporting accounts to DMB on Experian? You don't. Accounts either report to Experian or Equifax or DMB or all of them. So what you have to do is you now have to come in and you have to find credit with sources that report to Experian and Equifax, right? And that's the hard thing. And that's where our clients, it's so easy because you can see every one of them that reports to Equifax, Experian, and DMB. So it's easy to know those sources and where they actually report to. Otherwise, what you've got to do is you've got to just go through trial and error, unfortunately. I'm really interested, but don't have the money. Again, give us a call. We'll work with you on payments. Should I get the virtual address before I apply for the EIN? No, you don't need that virtual address before you get the EIN, but you do need the virtual address before you start applying for other kinds of credit. Are the available payment options the only way to get started? I'd love to get started. Nope, there's not. We will work with you on custom payments. Just give us a call or send us an email. Either way, our team is even available this evening. Talk to us about what you can do. Talk to us about your needs, and we'll work with you on a different plan or a different payment that can work for you. Had everything set up before business fell apart? Sorry to hear that. Do I need a new EIN? No, you don't. But the first thing we're going to do for you is look at your business credit reports to see if there's any negative information left over from that fall. So you'll know whether you should start over or not. But typically, no, you don't need to. Have business set up with Dun & Bradstreet, 6 trades, Dell account, looking for higher credit limit. No personal credit check. You can definitely do it. It's just about applying for more credit. The more credit you apply for, the higher the limits you get. So you've got to apply, get the credit, and use the credit. That's the key to getting the higher limits, and no worries about the typos. I'm interested in building business credit lines for real estate investing. Can you program with that? Absolutely. Real estate investing and real estate agents are 2 of the 5 top industries we help. Real estate's high risk, so it's very tough, as you know, to get money on your own. We even have a house reseller program, which is designed for fix and flip. It helps get you 100% of the money you need to fix and flip properties. And our system is really popular for people that flip homes because you can use the Visa MasterCard credit to even even get cash out to purchase properties, and then you can use the Home Depot, Labor Ready, Lowe's, those type of sources to actually get what you need to fix and repair the property. I've done something like this before and was left swimming in an ocean immediately after I paid my money. I'm sorry to hear that, Starkey. I know you said that you don't have any complaints. However, what really makes you different? What if I have other questions outside of the 30-minute window? Well, first of all, you're going to get 30 minutes at least with our advisors in the beginning, but our advisors will call you 5 times in the first 5 days, and then our advisors will call you weekly after that. So you're asking what makes us different. Well, we are the only company with a full service advisor team. The reason you were left to swim on this on your own was because, unfortunately, they don't have full service advising. We're the only company out there that offers full service advising. You'll probably pay us more than you paid them, and that's the reason we charge more, is because we provide full service advising. Our advisors will help you, hold your hand. If you want to spend an hour on the phone with our advisors applying for your first 5 vendors, they'll stay on the phone with you for that hour while you do that. And our credibility, I think, really speaks for itself. First of all, if you go to approvals on our website, go to credibility approvals, guys, you can see here how many approvals there are. I showed you some, right? But I didn't show you people like this that are holding literally stacks of credit cards. My collection, Nat says, right? So these are our actual real approvals. And here's what I say. If you got ripped off before, whether it be business credit company or anybody else, did you really look at their credibility? Because if you did, you're not going to find what you see here. Approval after approval. There's well over 100 approvals here to show real evidence that our program works. So you can see real proof that it actually works. And you also, when you come up, you can also come in. I already have that guide. I wrote that guide. I don't need that guide. Trustpilot reviews. You can see that we've got tons of reviews on Trustpilot. Guys, these are people that are recent, right? These are all recent people that you'll be able to find. And these, we keep them on here. 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. We leave it all. And you can see these aren't people that just leaving, actually leaving a 5-star. They're giving you information about what they actually experienced. They're coming in and saying, I joined Credit Suite. Here's exactly what my experience was like. Here's what my experience was like. These are very, very detailed testimonials here, so you can see the kind of results people are actually getting. You can see we're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and we're not DMB accredited. BB accredited. We're not accredited for a reason. I don't believe in paying the BBB any money. I think it's a sham, to be honest with you. I think paying money to get an A+ is a sham. We've got an A+ because we've never had any complaints in the lifetime of our business. That's why we've earned the A+, not because we're paying them. You could have an F, pay them for accreditation, and move immediately to A+. We're an A+ because we don't pay them a dime. We won't pay them a dime. We want to earn our A+. Okay, you can also come here. You can see our Sotellus reviews. There's even more reviews here, people providing all the real information, okay, giving real detailed feedback. And again, this goes on and on and on with the kind of results. You can see Facebook and Google and everybody's actual reviews here. So you can see these are real reviews. And then you can also come in and you can see video testimonials here, not just some people where you see a quick one line from somebody. You click any of our testimonials, there's actual video of what the people are saying. And again, this isn't just some testimonials, guys. This is a ton of testimonials that you're able to access on our website as well. And you're also able to come in here and see funding case studies, even see the exposure we have in the press. You can see how much exposure that our program has and how much we have because we've earned such the reputation that we have. So what makes us different? A lot of things. We're the only ones that have the software that we have, anything close to the technology we have. We're the only ones that have a full advising program. We're the only ones that offer business credit and financing in one system, the only ones that offer full financing support, and the best reputation you'll find of anybody in this industry, hands down. So a long answer, Starkey, to a very simple question. What is the amount, again, for the business credit program? You've got a couple different options. You can get started just to build business credit and get financing for $24.97, which saves you about 20%, and $4.97 a month. And again, we'll work with you on payments. If you want to be a partner, it's about $1,000 more than that. You can go to creditsuite.com/webinar to learn more. Does Credit Suite own Trustpilot? No, I don't. I don't know who owns Trustpilot. Trustpilot owns Trustpilot. So we don't own them. No, I don't even think they're out of the United States. I think Trustpilot's out of the UK somewhere. But no, we don't. We're just we push everybody to leave reviews on Trustpilot if they're going to leave reviews. But no, we don't have any affiliation with Trustpilot other than that. I'd started the program a few years back, but I got some life issues. That happens. I'm wondering, can I continue the program, the same login, and continue to pay? If you finished paying, well, no. If you stopped paying, yes, we will let you pick up where you left off, but you still won't have access. Just get in touch with us. We'll get you access. No problem. How long have you been helping establish business credit? Our business actually started 2014. So we have been in business now for about going on 4 years and helped about 15,000 people build business credit. And if you look at our reviews and everything else, you'll see that it's a pretty big accomplishment in the time frame we've been here. Do you help with establishing business from start? We help you with establishing it from the beginning. Yes. I have a partnership with an EIN number. Can your company help me change to a sole prop? Yeah, absolutely. Or what I don't know if a sole prop will be best, but yes, we will help you change the entity. We absolutely will do that. If I already have business now, how would I get into this? Well, just give us a call, send us an email. Either way, we will help you get started and you can start getting business credit and financing. And since it's already established, you may already qualify for some financing. I have an S Corp debit card since 2014. I run my real estate business, though it's credit score 620. Can I get approved? Yeah, remember, business credit's not based on consumer credit scores, and the debit card is not a credit card, right? So we want to get you actual revolving credit. What's the name of a company that offers $7,400 credit line in 24 months? That is one of our preferred sources, and I'm not sure off the top of my head who that is. So let me try to pull that up for you. Actually, let me go to round one. Let me see if I can go back to round one. So I will pull that up for you, Don. What if I already have a NAV account? Well, then you won't need that, but it's even cheaper with us through NAV, and we can integrate your system more than likely into ours. Is this a lifetime program, or how long does it go? It's lifetime. You get 12 months with our advisors because you don't need our advisors after 12 months. If you do, we'll work with you. And you get access to our finance team as well. You get access to our finance team as well indefinitely. And that's Global Voice Direct was the answer to that question about the phone. If I have several business credit accounts with over 12 years history, are you able to review all of this and build my credit? Yeah. But the problem is does that credit really report on your business credit reports? Most of the credit we see that people think they have don't report on the commercial credit reports. But yeah, the very first thing we need to do is pull your business credit and see which of that credit is actually reporting. I'm in tier one now with 4 reporting, 80 credit score. I have a Chase business, 30,000 limit with PG. Will this help speed up? It only will help speed up if it does report. If it doesn't report, it won't help you. I need credit for flipping houses. Yep. We already talked about that, how you can use business credit, Home Depot, Lowe's, places like that to get the actual resources you need. We also have house flipper financing that you can get as well to flip homes. How often is your list updated? Daily. We have a list of credit agencies which vendors report. We update that daily. We have a data team that all of our data team does is goes and collects data, and we get information. So for example, a brand new law rolled out in May that a lot of people thought would affect our industry. We know how it affects because we have relationships with every one of those underwriters. So we add new sources daily and we update our information daily as well. I have multiple LLCs looking for house flipping credit. We also talked about that and how that was possible. If I want to do the business, how much is it with a discount? It's $500 off of that. So it's 30. You can see here at creditsuite.com/webinar. You can go right here and you can see that with the webinar special, it's $34.97 or $597 a month instead of $697 a month. And that gives you access to everything in our partner program. And our partner program is pretty elaborate. First of all, I do special training that's only ever released to our partners, nobody else sees, and that's released every week. I've got about many years of this. So how to master YouTube to get hundreds of sales, how to get this in one, how to make 128 grand in one 90-minute webinar. So here we are talking about that. As a matter of fact, campaigns and marketing automation platform, bots and how bots affect your marketing. Every week we do things that teach you how to offer business credit and financing, 10 easy ways to use Facebook to get new customers, etc. So you've got, I don't know, I think it's over 200 hours of training that's now available in the back office. And again, as a partner, you get basically the equivalent of an entire franchise all in one. So for example, here's coaching calls. We've done contracts and agreements. You've got finance resources for marketing. You've got articles and ebooks, and you can see that all of our materials are professionally done. So I already showed you an example, one of the ebooks. Let me show you another. Well, actually, I already showed you an ebook. So I'll show you some emails, for example. So we're giving you everything you need to run your own business credit and financing business. It's like a franchise without the $25,000 franchise fee. And you can see here, here's just the emails that we give you, for example, where there's just 69 pages here of emails. What you should know about business credit, but probably don't. Unsecured business financing, the hidden gem of business financing. We're giving you all this. We even have what's called an ultimate program you can call us on. The ultimate program, we set up all your materials for you, and we give you access. It's so sick. We give you access to what's called our campaigns product, where not only do we set all this up, but you have access to a CRM and everything is set up for you. Our sales funnel is already there. When people open the emails, they get points. And when they get so many points, we trigger a webinar like this that sells the finance suite for you. We automate the entire marketing and sales process for you. It's so ridiculous with our ultimate program. It's much more expensive than our VIP, but it's like our partner program, but everything is set up and done for you. All of our campaigns to make contact, to collect on billing, to retention, all of that stuff is even already set up for you. So you can see here, those are the email resources. Let's take a look here. We'll take a look at videos as well. All marketing videos, webinars. I mean, everything you need to be successful, you're able to come in here and get in your back office. There's more than you'll ever probably need. So here's videos that you can use, for example, to market. And there's a ton of videos, walkthrough demos of the finance suite to sell the finance suite for you. I love this guy. This is talking money. Look, he talks. This is a little money guy. So we could see, that's pretty cool. I love that video. So there's a bunch of different videos. So these are the quality of resources you get, and there is just a substantial amount. With our executive program, which is 99 bucks a month if you're a partner, and it's up to you if you want it or not, I give you all the resources, new resources weekly, videos, PowerPoints before I even release them. Most of you have seen my information before. All the webinars I do, the videos I do, the PowerPoints I use, all of those are available through our executive resource too. So there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos and PowerPoints and everything you need to successfully run your own business credit business. There's sales rep training to train your sales rep. They have their own resources. And then again, you have partner training, which teaches you everything that you need to know about offering business credit and financing. And it works much the same as our other training does. It's short training videos that teaches you everything about offering business credit financing as a service through short videos. These are all done by me. This is about 10, 11 minutes. This guide even gives you a summary of all different kind of marketing topics, using social media to sell, selling on webinars, top advertising strategies, so we even teach you all the ways to get leads as well. And I even mentioned also that you have your own website. This is what that website looks like. So you can see here that here's the actual website you get. It's got about us, business loans, business credit, completely customizable WordPress. We even give you actual testimonials here. So you can actually come in and get video testimonials. All of this is on your own website. So this is your own website you get as a partner as well. And don't forget, I logged out of this. I need to just get out and go and do that again. But you're also getting the business valuations as part of this as well to see how much your business is worth at any given time. So hopefully that answers your question. What's the purpose of white label? White label just means it's in your name. So that means all these resources are in your name instead of ours. Our team represents themselves as an affiliate with your business or an associate of yours. The marketing is in logo is all yours, which mine just populated an error for some reason of logo image. So your logo's up here, not mine or not anybody else's. The whole thing is done white label in your name. So again, a lot of people want this to be their own product and service, even the servicing. So we represent our servicing as you. As real estate investing on the block list, everything in real estate is, but don't feel bad. Everything in financial services is, mortgages are as well. Any way to nail down credit reporting to private money mortgages, personal or business? Kenneth, you have to ask me that question again. I'm not sure I understand exactly what you're asking. How much can I charge on my end? Typically, the way our partner program works is this. Our normal partners are selling the finance suite for $2,500 to $3,500. You determine the price, and we even teach you how to price your own finance suite in that training I just showed you. Our normal partners sell for $2,500 to $3,500. We have some partners that sell for as much as $5,000. Your wholesale cost is $500 to $700 to us. So you're selling it for $3,000. Your wholesale cost, let's say, is $700. So in that case, you're making $2,300. So on average, you're making $2,000 to $3,000 in profit for every sale. And then as part of our executive program, we split the funding fees for you. So any client funding that your clients get, we give you 50% of that. The average funding fee is $2,000. And we see, checks cut to partners for $10,000 or more. It really depends on the type of funding and the amount of funding a customer is getting. So we're splitting funding fees when you're part of our executive program. You're selling the finance suite for $2,500 to $3,500, and then from there, your wholesale is $500 to $700, depending on if you're buying one finance suite at a time or multiple finance suites at a time. So that gives you an idea. Pretty hefty margins. You're selling something completely unique that nobody else out there is offering besides our partners. You don't have hardly any competition. You probably will rarely run into a partner in our area. You're making $2,000 to $3,000 in front end profit on average per sale. Again, and it depends on what you decide to sell it for. And then you're making commissions on the back end as well. What is the purpose of partner? If I wanted to help others build business credit, yeah, that's what it is. The partner program basically gives you the ability to help people get loans and offer people business credit through our finance suite and through our direct funding program. You can even add clients here to get funding without even them building business credit, without paying them a dime. And then basically we do all the servicing, our finance officers, our advisors, we do all the back end work for you. And then you can sell it and you make a profit. So as we just talked about, you're making $2,000 to $3,000 in profit per sale. So maybe you want to make this your primary business, or maybe you want to make this a secondary business that you're actually offering. No, thank you. Can you explain the flipping of homes again? Well, we have a house flipper program that gets you 100% of the money you need to flip and rehab a home. It'll give you 100% of the after repair value. So if you buy a property right, you can get the money to buy the property and rehab the property. But in order to get approved for that program, you need to have about a mid 600 credit score, like 640, 650, some experience in flipping properties. And they're going to ask for you to put some money in escrow as well. But that's the house flipper program. But a lot of people use business credit, use that $150,000 in unsecured credit lines to buy real estate. Any of those options will work as well. And you will get a copy of the webinar tomorrow. Allied Voice, it was Global Voice Direct. If you get the VIP package, can you establish your own business credit as well? Yeah, the VIP package does include you getting your own. It's like our core and VIP together. So you get your own finance suite to build business credit, get financing, run your own business credit financing business, your own advisors, finance team. You're getting all of that as well as, again, everything you need to run your own business credit and financing business. Do you report to the credit reporting agencies? We report to Credit Safe. Experian, Equifax, and DNB won't let us report because we deal with business credit building. This is very common, guys. When you are working in the business credit building space, the business credit reporting agencies won't let you report to them. But we have a relationship with Credit Safe, which is one of the biggest up-and-coming reporting agencies, and we do report your credit with them. So that gives you very high-limit trades with them you get right off the bat. How fast can a startup business take to get money to buy real estate? Well, it depends. To get to the end goal of cash credit takes about 4 to 6 months. But again, you may qualify for financing now. If you have a guarantor, good credit, or some of those other things, you may get financing faster. I want a partner. I'd like to do some possibility or thinking around how can we make this happen. Yeah, I mean, give us a call, send us an email. We'll work with you and design something if we don't have something already that's a good fit for you to come in. How much does the ultimate program cost? It's expensive. If you have to ask, it's not for you. No, I'm just kidding. You can go to creditsuite.com and you can check out. Oh, that's University of Business Credit. You can go to creditsuite.com and look at our pricing page. You'll see our normal pricing. It's $500 higher, and our ultimate is $59.97, and you get $500 off that as part of this webinar as well. So it's only $54.97. So it's $1,500 more than VIP because you're getting everything set up for you. We're setting everything up for you. You're also going to have to pay $99 to Active Campaign because that's who the CRM is built with. It's not our CRM. We don't do that. We build business credit. We focus on what we do and let others do the rest. So, but you're getting all the campaigns built for you with this. So with this, we're basically coming in and giving you campaigns where this will give you an idea of our campaigns. Man, our guys are awesome with these pop-up ads. Campaigns, you're also getting all the campaigns set up for you. So we're actually coming in and you're getting a 3-video series that sells the finance suite for you. You're getting a webinar like this. It's a 90-minute webinar. I do white label. I never mention my name. I never mention Credit Suite that sells it for you. Campaigns to make contact for your sales team, to retain your customers, to re-engage customers that aren't engaging with you, in case your payments decline, in case you fall out. We have an SMS, a text message prospecting campaign, a text message retention campaign, the main sales funnel, which has all these 100 emails and information emails, benefit emails, call to action emails. It's our funnel. What we basically done have taken all of our own automation. This is so sick. We've taken our own automation and we built it in our own Active Campaign CRM. When you come in as Ultimate, we literally clone our system and give it to you white label. It's cloned. So same week, you have all of the same campaigns that you get emails from us, all the resources we use, it's already pre-built. The logic is built. The logic built by that, I mean, if somebody opens an email, they get points. The points trigger the 3-video series that sells it for you. It's already pre-built. That's what our Ultimate program is. So guys, look, VIP is awesome if you want to offer business credit financing. It really is. The Ultimate program is like if you know you want to do this as your primary thing and you're going to go all in, then it's a great option to work with. In any of those programs, feel free to give us a call, send us an email. We'll work with you on that. If I decide to sign up without the partnership, yeah, you can always add that later. And you will get the discount and you'll just pay the difference. So if you come in as core and you want to upgrade to VIP, you can. But guys, think about this. VIP is $100 more a month. Do you know anybody that owns a business or wants to start a business that needs money or that might be interested in what I showed you today? If you say, oh yeah, I know at least 2-3 people, well, think about it. 2 people pay you 2-3,000 in profit. So if you got 2-3,000 in profit for one person, if you sign up 2 people, you pay for your own enrollment and you make a profit. So if you know people that you think would be interested in this, that you could go through our training and present and show this to them, then you're going to pay for your own enrollment with even 2 or 3 of those people. If you don't know anybody that would be interested, then maybe the VIP program isn't for you. But yeah, you can upgrade by only paying the difference at any given time. Is there a way to get help guidance immediately tomorrow first thing instead of scheduling out what weeks? Yeah, you can. Just give us a call or send us an email. What James is asking about is that if you go to schedule a consultation with us, we are booked over 2 weeks in advance. And just so you guys know, we schedule consultations for our sales guys every 15 minutes. That's how many consultations we have scheduled. We have hundreds and hundreds of consultations scheduled to talk to our team, but we also have team members that we don't schedule consultations with, so they're available by phone. So yeah, don't wait weeks for a consultation. Give us an email or send us an email or give us a call and do that. And the other reason for that is we have setters that their entire job is to schedule consultations. So that's why we get so far backed up on the consultations. Herb Tea Shop is not high risk. How do you purchase a home under an LLC? That's a better question for an accountant than it is for me. I'll be the first to say. So if I charge 15%, we get 7.5%. You don't charge money. First of all, with this, with funding, what would happen if the lender charges, it's not what the lender charges, it's what they pay us. So if the lender pays us 5% on a deal, you get paid 2.5% and we get paid 2.5%. So we split whatever the lender pays us. If you want to charge a customer above and beyond what the lender charges, you keep 100% of that money. You don't have to split that with us, but whatever the lender pays us is what we split with you. Can we do this with multiple LLCs? Yes, you can build business credit, follow the same steps. Almost every one of our successful clients does. You saw Marlon, you saw the sample. or excuse me, sorry, I hit my mute button. You saw Christine, you saw Marlon, you saw the samples. Every one of them has built business credit with multiple businesses. Once our partners become successful or our clients become successful, they typically start building other businesses and building business credit following the same steps. What's the total cost for the partner program? Is it a one-time fee? It depends on you. And by that, I mean this. Our total cost is right here. $34.97. If you do the math, it's much more if you make payments because you're paying interest on it, right? Which is why you're probably better to do one payment on a credit card and pay them less interest than you'll pay us. But either way, you've got those options. That's it. Now, you have a choice beyond that. If you were our ultimate, well, then you have to pay for your CRM because that program comes with the CRM. It's not even applicable for VIP. There's other executive program, which I've talked about. Executive lets you submit customers for funding, get paid on funding. It lets you set up and manage sales rep. It gives you executive resources. It's an add-on. It's not something you need, but if you're really going to start doing this, then you might want to add that. That's $99 a month, cancel anytime. But again, that's completely voluntary. So to answer your question, as a partner, as a VIP partner, your only expense that you have to pay is to come in the door originally and pay this $34.97 or make the payments. Then you're done. It's yours for lifetime. You get your own finance suite, your own partner program. It's yours indefinitely. But if you want to upgrade to things like executive, that's $99 a month. So there might be some elective things you may choose to get. Remember, if you're going to sell customers, as we talked about, it's $700 per finance suite. That year's your wholesale cost. So of course, there's a cost for every finance suite you sell. But no, you don't ever have to pay anything beyond that unless you chose to pay our $99 a month executive program. Do you have a special pricing for nonprofits? It's the same pricing. We don't usually give any kind of discounts. We're just giving discounts as part of this actual webinar, and you will get that $500 discount. Is that $99 a month to active campaign? Yes, it is. And if you already, well, let me answer your question this way. If you're an ultimate, if you get that ultimate program we talked about, we build everything for you in a CRM. That CRM is Active Campaign. If you already have Active Campaign, we add it to your own. If you don't, you got to pay them. You'll pay it through us, but it's the same cost, $99 a month. The executive program is something different for the $99, and that is where you can get paid on 50% on everything that you submit for funding. You can submit funding deals, you get additional training resources, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully that answers your question. Is a music production? No, that's not high risk. As it relates to having others sign up under you, do you pay out the commission up front, or is it over time while the participants make their payment? That's up to you. But if you sign up customers, then what you should do is you should do what we do. Let them make payments to you. And the reason for that is because when you let people pay you payments, you are then establishing, that's called account receivables, people that agree to owe you money and they pay you over time. That is the most valuable asset a business has. It's looked at as an asset. It gets you it gives you ability to get loans, different kind of financing. So you should probably let them make payments to you like we let people make payments to us, and that accumulates account receivables, which increases the value of your business, just so you know. Even if the business already exists, yes. How do we find out what the lender pays? We have all that in the back office. So if you come into Partner Resources, Resource Library, and you come into Finance Resources, you'll see a finance cheat sheet here, which kind of goes through the main funding programs, how they work, the requirements, how the program works, the rates, the terms. So we give you a bunch of training on financing as well. And then we also give you a breakdown of a finance commitment letter to get somebody to buy the finance suite, committing to buy the finance, or somebody getting funding, committing to buy the finance suite after they commit. And you're also getting a breakdown of what a lot of the programs typically pay. So this will kind of give you that breakdown as well. To make it simple for you, it's pretty easy. The main programs that we offer, the biggest ones, revenue lending, unsecured, they pay us about, we're splitting with you and you're making about 2 or 3 percentage points on the loan. So with the main programs that your customers will get, we're making typically about 6 points. You're getting paid about 3. So on a $100,000 deal, that's $3,000. So, we just did a $12,000 or a $400,000 deal the other day. The partner made $15,000 was their check. So it's typically about 3% on most of the funding programs. Some only pay us about 1%, but the majority of programs we do, you're basically making about 3%, sometimes more if we make a lot more. But again, we're not trying to rake our customers over the coal. We're getting them fair pricing, and then we're splitting those fees with you. That was a great webinar. Thank you, James. I appreciate that. I'll sign up. Just need to tell you, talk pre-sales to figure on how to best help me with immediate needs too. You have done an excellent. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Time the past several years, just like you have it on. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. And James, I look forward to working with you too. I think that's awesome. Can you buy VIP and upgrade? Yes, you can. And that's one of the things that we had talked about as well. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Look, I know there might be questions that are still unanswered. I went about 15 minutes past the time I had intended originally. I'm not going to leave your questions unanswered. Some of them we might have answered through text instead of answering by voice. Give us a call, send us an email. info@creditsuite.com, 877-600-2487. You got a couple options. If you don't like to get on the phone with people, then during the day, go click chat on our website and chat with our team. Send us an email and let's go back and forth through email. If you don't mind jumping on the phone, then give us a call. I don't expect you just to spend thousands of dollars because you heard me talk for 90 minutes. I hope that this answers the majority of your questions. Now we might have to nail down and drill down and see if it's right for you. So give us a call, 877-600-2487. Send us an email, info@creditsuite.com. We'll make sure your questions are answered. Creditsuite.com/webinar. That is available through this Friday. Okay. At the end of the day on Friday, we typically take down the page. If we don't have another webinar, you're going to see the offer expired. Sign up. That's what happens. So if you see it, don't be upset with me. I'm giving you a fair warning. Friday at midnight is when we typically take down the webinar page. If we do a webinar the next week, it might come up. If we don't do a webinar for 3 months, then you won't see it for months. So again, the only time we typically offer a special, we do it about once or twice a year. It's usually only $500, and we don't, in a lot of cases, give away bonuses at the same time we are during this. So, and again, we'll work with you on payments. We've got a bunch of funding options. We might help you get funding. We may help you go through a place like Fundbox Pay where they'll finance your payments for you. We'll work with you on affordable payments. Does this make sense to you? Do you like the idea? Do you want the fastest path to get business credit? Do you want to get business credit? Do you want to work with a finance team where you never need to worry about financing? If all this makes sense, then get with us, get in touch with us. Let us work something out that's specific to you. If you don't want to work with us, that's cool too. Hopefully, as always my goal, you're walking away with a bunch of actionable information. You know a bunch of stuff that you didn't know before you came here. So either way, whether you work with us or not, you're walking away a winner. But of course, I'd love to work with you. Our partners, we've got partners that make over $1 million a year in sales just offering business credit and financing. If you want to do this as a primary business or make a bunch of money just offering it as a secondary service, or don't offer it at all and just come in and get business credit and financing for your business. Any of those options still are good and still will help you get the fastest success with getting business credit and financing. So I'm going to answer one final question. We're going to wrap up. How many Fundbox payments need to be made before we can start working on it? You don't need to make any. If Fundbox only works if you have revenue coming in and you manage your bank account responsibly. If you do, we can get you approved with them. They typically give you 60 days with no payments, and we immediately give you access because they pay us right away. We don't care. But again, Fundbox is not easy to get unless you have some kind of revenue established. Either way, give us a call, send us an email. We will work with you and customize payments for you. So guys, any other questions that you ladies and gentlemen may have, give us a ring, 877-600-2487. Send us an email, info@creditsuite.com. Again, the special is available through Friday. We get 4 awesome bonuses and you save $500, which is like 15-20% on our main programs, something we usually don't offer discounts on. Why? Because nobody has anything like what we have. This is the only place you're going to find a partner program like this, only place you find a software like this that's white label that you can also use to build business credit and get financing, that's mobile friendly, that has all the ability to take years of a process and condense it to months. clients. And again, if you have questions, just search us online. You'll see how strong our credibility is. We've never had a client complain about us ever. You can see our reviews, you can see testimonials, you can see everything out there that you want to see. So I don't want to leave you hanging. I know a lot of people will continue to ask questions. Again, we will make sure that your questions are answered. Give us a ring, send us an email. And again, you should get a playback to this webinar as soon as tomorrow if you attended all the way through. So thank you all very much for taking the time to attend with us today. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed having you, and I look forward to working with you as partners and clients. So give us a ring, 877-600-2487, 877-600-2487, or info@creditsuite.com. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.